Now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only, PUCL Podcast.
It's PUCL! PUCL! It's PUCL! PUCL! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! PUCL! PUCL.
And welcome to the PUCL Podcast. I am your host, Trainer Thatch, here today with my spectacular, as always, co-host. We've got the escapee from SeaWorld, Dr. Shamu.
Hello. It's been a while.
Yeah, and we've also got the Lord of the Land, his 1 square foot in Scotland, Seth Vilo.
We have the Lord of the Land and the Lord of the Sea with us today, gentlemen and ladies and others. We have everything. What more could you ask from a show?
And welcome to the PUCL Podcast. PUCL, of course, standing for the Pokemon Underground Champions League, a nonsensical name we came up with in 2007, where we talk everything from the video game to the trading card to everything in between. Today is going to be fun. Well, so like next week we have Scarlet and Violet, which is going to be very exciting.
Yeah.
And then that's like the rest of our year's schedule, I think.
We've got topics for the rest of time figured out.
We literally have topics until the end of the year figured out, I think, as a result.
Easily the end of the year, and probably after the fact, we'll probably have until like halfway through the year almost.
Probably
Honestly,
not.
Yeah.
Well, probably not, but we'll see.
Maybe not. Yeah, we'll see.
We'll figure it out.
And so we've got a lot. We got a lot set up. So today is going to be a very special episode where we talk about none of that. And we talk about the TCG. But before we start that, I want to change things up today. Instead of asking you how you are, we're gonna talk about some stories that we have from our week. And so I want to start just because I think mine's the only one that's not about opening packs.
Yeah, maybe.
Even though I did do it. I did it on stream, so make sure you go check that out if you really want to see a booster box. And I think we opened an ETB at the same time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I know.
If I remember right, you did, because I was there for a little bit.
Yeah. So I actually been playing PLA again. I restarted it just because like I hadn't finished the Pokedex, but like there, you get to a point where it's just like I have all these little baby mini quests, and it's just like, well, I don't remember where I was, so I'll just restart it.
Yeah.
And just do it all over again. So I've been having a good time doing that, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's just like freak accident or what. I think when I played through PLA the first time at launch, I think I caught like 1 shiny through my normal playthrough, and this time I've caught like 5. Like,
wow.
Yeah,
right.
I've caught like 5. It's insane to me. Like, one of them was a Drifblim, and I hadn't caught a Drifblim yet, so now it's like permanently shiny in my Pokedex. And nice. I can't turn it off, and it's kind of annoying me. Like, my OCD's just like, it shouldn't look like that.
Just catch a normal one, then you can change it.
I did catch a normal one, and it didn't let me.
Oh, doesn't it? It should let you show them. Like, 'cause that's...
I don't know. It didn't let me. I did catch a normal one, though. Yeah, it's been very interesting to go through the game and just
might be a thing with the gender. You need to switch then gender.
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
Because there's some. I remember that's one thing too. Is that like if you do one way, it's a bit bonkers.
I know. In the regular games, that's how it works. I don't know if PLA lets you switch this nicely, but I caught 5 shiny so far. Like, it's insane. Just like playing through the game, I'm just like, oh, shiny, and so like I don't even have the conditions. These are all full odds. It's just like, what are full odds anymore? Did they drop them?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. I've caught 5 of them just through normal gameplay. This is insane to me.
Good on you.
Yeah.
I think I've still only caught like 1. Even though I haven't gone back. My brother was insane because when he got it, he didn't really understand that you don't have to do like he got to the first area where you're supposed to catch like 3 things, right?
Yeah.
And he caught like 2.5 boxes of Pokemon, and his Pokemon were crazy leveled up, and he had like 3 shinies in that because he was just going around like, I'm gonna catch everything until I have one of everything in this area.
To be fair, I kind of did the same thing, but it was mostly just like, well, I know I got to complete the research for the topic, so I'm like, I might as well do it like while I'm starting.
He didn't even know there was like research, so he came back and he was like multiple stars, and it was just, well, we don't know what to do with you, my guy.
Yeah, no, that's essentially what I did so far. Is like I've just been playing it, and I've just accidentally leveled up faster than I think I'm supposed to, and I'm literally just exploring. Like, that's all I'm doing. I'm just exploring. So if Scarlet and Violet ends up like that at all, like, I'm gonna have a good time. It's gonna be great.
Heck yeah. Oh, from the trailers we've seen, I'm excited for this. It's gonna be crazy.
If it's anything like that, it's just gonna be a good time where you just go around, have fun, play some Pokemon. I am very excited for this. I just wanted to do this though because like I'm gearing up for the game to come out, and I just wanted to play some actual Pokemon again.
Yeah.
Same. I was very antsy. I was gonna even get like Temtem, but I can't get it on the console I want to get it on.
Yeah,
it's not playable. It's like, cause I just need something to fill in the gap. Just for like that week.
I mean, I'm very excited just to be able to play with the community again. I mean, to be fair, we did do a really fun raid night in Swish this past week. Where like we had like 30 people show up.
Wow.
Yeah, it was insane. We had a good time. Like we were streaming and everybody was there, and we were doing Dynamax adventures. We will definitely do that this week. Actually, this week there's going to be a nice content schedule up for everybody because this is obviously launch week. And we've got a lot of content planned, so it's going to be very, very exciting.
Heck yeah!
I think like Thursday night, I'm going to just start streaming at like 9 p.m. Eastern, and then we'll probably play some Swish and like do like, and I want to do like one endless Dynamax adventure before that game's
see how far
dead.
you can go at least, yeah.
See how far we can go, and then hopefully we're done by midnight, which I assume we will, and then we just transition to Scarlet and Violet and just play for a few hours, and then I'll go to bed, and then I'll sleep, and then Shark will come back, and then I'll come back, and then Shark will come back, and we'll just be streaming all day, every day over on Twitch and now YouTube. We're just co-streaming to both.
Awesome. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. That's been a whole thing in and of itself. Like from a behind the scenes perspective, that's been very interesting to watch. Just like the engagement difference between the two.
Yeah.
It's definitely exactly what I expected, actually. It's definitely exactly what I expected, which I was hoping to be surprised, but I hate that I wasn't surprised because I'm just like, oh, maybe we should just stream on YouTube now instead of Twitch.
Yeah.
If you have strong feelings on that, you should write the survey, but based on the survey...
That's what I was going to say is because you've shared a couple of those with me, those points, and those came a lot from the survey, so thank you guys out there for filling that out. It really helps us.
Actually, fun fact about the survey, too, we're doing that giveaway for Scarlet and Violet if we get 200 responses by the release date. We're only 2 responses away from 200.
Heck yeah!
Honestly, by the time you're hearing this, I would have liked to assume we've already hit that 200, but we'll...
I don't want to make that assumption so that people still fill out the survey on Monday when the show comes out, regardless, because I want more than 200 responses, if possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this survey is great. Yeah,
the survey is usually very helpful, and actually it's helping gear up like ideas towards what we could be doing next and get good content ideas. So we're definitely going to use that in the future. There's going to be probably sometime in December, there's going to be a stream where it's just me breaking down the survey responses and what we're going to do in response to a lot of it.
Yeah.
And so definitely look out for that. I'm going to try to be better about making sure that every week there's a schedule for our content out on the Discord and our socials, so you guys can see it and you can catch our content throughout the week, so that you're not just coming for you're just not coming through for, randomly finding us on YouTube or Twitch or something. That way you know what's coming. So we're definitely gonna start doing that, and we'll ramp it up and see how it goes. See how everybody does. But yeah, I've taken like 8 minutes for all of that, and so I guess we can talk like super briefly about. I know you guys have opened Silver Tempest, as have I.
Yeah.
Get anything good?
I got decent. I want to talk about little store experience real quick, because might help some people who are looking for stuff. But yeah, I just went to a general store. Where I live is Myers. It's actually like a Walmart, but a bit nicer, or like a Target type thing.
It's like halfway between a Target and a Walmart, I feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of quality.
Yeah, because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
It's a very Midwest thing. Yeah. It's like I think it's like or Western Pennsylvania to like I think just past the Mississippi or up to the Mississippi.
Something like that. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
But I went there doing some shopping. I was like, oh, look at the cards. Maybe they stocked it or not. We'll see. Because when I remember them stocking, it was like on like Friday afternoons, but I think they changed it.
Mm-hmm.
But they had Silver Tempest there like right on Friday morning, and I went and looked, and first thing that caught my eye were 4 Charizard UPCs just on the shelf. And I'm like,
gracious, just out?
They were just on the shelf. Like,
I went to Target yesterday, Seth, and I saw like 6 or 7 like on the shelf. And I'd actually bought one like a week earlier off the shelf too.
And
what?
Yeah, people were freaking out about the stock of these, and I think they were absolutely wrong to be freaking out about the stock.
Yeah, because they usually, like, I will say in my past experience with, like, the premium collection, they don't, at least before they didn't print that many of them, but I think they kind of realized after thing that, like, hey, you kind of, like, and specifically if it's a Charizard one, you kind of need to print a lot.
Yeah. On top of that, like this product exists for like so many. This product is a beautiful conglomeration of reasons to exist.
Yeah.
Because like this is the Charizard from V-Star Universe, the Japanese set where they just like go bonkers and give you everything that's already existed, but with pretty art. And they just didn't want people buying out the English version of that set because it had Charizard in it. To be fair, there's still a Charizard in it, but that's a whole different thing. And
yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, they didn't want people buying it out for like the pretty Charizard V-Star and V-Max and V. So they made the Ultra Premium collection.
But I thought I just saw that and didn't get it because don't have that much money right now on me to buy them. And I already got one, so I didn't have a reason to get another one.
Yes, there's no reason to get a second.
When I usually buy cards as a set, I usually just try to get certain products for promos because I still have that Black Star promo collection. So I'm I'll get the little blisters. I decided to get one of those bundles that had the 6 packs in it because I'm I don't want to buy an ETB because it was $45 for the ETB. I'm that's a bit much. The 6-pack bundle was $27 and it was 2 less. And I'm I'm just gonna get that. Get some actual packs and see what I pull. Go to the checkout and I find out it was buy one get one half off.
Oh,
so
that's great.
Some people might have taken advantage of that for the Charizards because that would be the way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Buy one, get one half off. Yeah, that's good savings there.
Mm-hmm.
But, got back and, opened them. Once, I feel like I took product from Claude because I got the Skunk Tank alt art.
Oh, no.
And I also pulled the Superior V.
Hey, I got that.
Yeah, and I know that's something he really wants to build.
I pulled a full art Superior V.
You too?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. We should just send Claude all of the cards because I'm never going to play. I am never going to play Superior V. There's just no chance I will ever play it.
It's one thing short of being good, but we can get to that later.
Yeah. But I got a couple good staple stuff like Serenas and Dragonite and one of the Seal Stones, and we'll talk about those later too. But
yeah,
no, I got can't be upset. I got an alt art and I got a couple of good things that are $1 cards that I will need. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, can't be too upset. Out of 12 packs, 13, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's my little story.
All right. Well, Seth, I don't want to tell you I don't want to give you too much time, but I'll let you talk, I guess.
Mine's a short one. If y'all have not yet gotten your Pokemon Crocs,
yes, okay,
they are available physically in stores, and you can even get officially done little Pokemon charms to put on your Crocs. I may or may not have 5.
You can be a cool kid like Seth Vilo and wear your Pokemon Crocs.
That's I think the Pokemon ones are my 6th or so pair, and
I believe
now I've got another one. I am deeply in the Crocs cult. If you want a comfortable shoe, that is the most comfortable shoe you can wear, and some of them even look kind of normal.
Yeah. Oh. So yeah, this is going to be a good time. Good time. Yeah, I can't wait to watch you wear those to regionals.
Heck
in a couple weeks. Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, this is a good place to stop, and we're going to go over and kick it on over to the news. Let's cue that epic music.
Town Radio Tower. This just in.
Welcome to the news. Our news segment has a few things to talk about leading up to the release of Scarlet and Violet. Gimmighoul was officially revealed as a new Pokemon after there was a Go teaser. It was a 5-minute video on Saturday. It's a ghost type that lives in a chest in its chest form in Scarlet and Violet, but in Pokemon Go, it'll be catchable in its roaming form early next year if you connect to Scarlet and Violet with your account. I want to know what that means exactly. The catchable, because I could see them just giving it to you. It's kind of like the G-Max Melmetal.
I'm so excited for this Pokemon. In general, it just very screams my vibe.
Also, there's so many ghost types. They've announced so many ghost types.
Yeah. I'm tickled. I think Ghost is my second favorite type behind Grass, and that's why a lot of my favorite typings are Ghost Grass, so whatever. That's me, though. But this thing, I'm curious if the roaming in Go, roaming form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm curious if that has like the same type, because they distinctly did not say a type for that one in the promotional material, but they did for the chest one.
I assume it is, but we could always be wrong.
Probably, but they didn't say it. And
Yeah, they
the
did.
silence is almost louder than anything else.
No, them not saying anything is more of an answer than not saying any. I get what you're saying.
We may be wrong.
Yeah.
Like I've got that feeling though. Like we may be wrong come 2023 and we finally find the darn thing. But
yeah,
yes,
I'm so excited for this stupid Pokemon.
yes,
looks so cool.
It's very cute that it came out. This was the chess thing we were talking about last week, so it's very, very cute. I don't know. I think this is a better way to do Pokemon Go exclusivity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's better than Meltan.
Rather it be a form than an actual Pokemon itself that's like can't be gotten any other way.
I just hate locking the evolution behind it. Like that's just stupid. Especially since it can't go back and forth. You know what I mean? Just because even even if we have a world where regional evolutions exist, because some people have been speculating that with Farigiraf. Farigiraf, I have to say it properly. Perry the Farigiraf. And they lock that behind Scarlet and Violet. The idea is that you can send the Pokemon to home, and then you can transfer a Giraffe rig into Scarlet and Violet, evolve, and then send it back to the game, right? Like that's the idea.
Yeah.
If the regional evolutions are a thing, and I hope to God they aren't. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed, guys. And we're gonna hope and pray, and Thatch is just gonna hope and pray that it's not true because that feels bad. But at least you could do that with Pokemon Go. You can't do that. Pokemon Go is a one-way transfer. So
that's true.
Pokemon Go is a one-way transfer, and I would feel okay with it if, like, I didn't send a Meltan to, Sword and Shield, and it was stuck as a Meltan forever as a result. All right, well, let's move on from Gimme Cool. Let's move on.
Oh, hey, yeah, let's move on. Guess what? Ash beat Leon.
I know.
Heck yeah!
You don't like it? You don't like that spoiler? Well,
yeah, because it's not even out in the
Pokemon
US.
who just announced it on Twitter. They just like, hey, guess what? Here, Ash with a trophy, winning the whole thing.
To be fair, it is like 3 months out in the US, but I think they did it to beat it out because last time when Ash won Alola, like the fan community tweeted it out a ton.
Yeah.
And I think Pokemon wanted to be part of that celebration, and so they're trying to cut everybody off. Yeah, so they spoiled it.
The funniest response was the voice actor for Ash being like, hey, spoilers much.
Yeah.
That's the funniest tweet about it.
Yes.
Yeah. And then also, like, following that, there's a couple Project Mew episodes.
Oh, they've got the next 3 episode titles, yeah.
And one of them is The Future I Sees and Pokemon, I Am Glad I Met You, which kind of makes it sound like it's ending.
Well, so the other way you can translate it is Pokemon, I'm Glad I Chose You. Which is like more of like a callback to Pokemon Episode 1, which is Pokemon I Choose You.
Apparently how it's written in Japanese is in the old way, like back to how they did it in the original anime.
Oh, wow.
I don't know, the characters or whatever alphabet they use. They wrote it differently for that title than the current nomenclature for how they do titles now.
Man.
So,
yikes.
Yeah, okay, so one, they haven't announced the Scarlet and Violet anime, which is actually kind of strange because it usually is announced by now.
Yeah.
If there is one. I know there have been rumors that the production studios having a rough time for the anime. So I could see them just taking a break for a little bit, like while they stabilize or whatever, or they find
Ash has to turn 16 so he can get his
car
Koraidon license.
I mean, I could see that a time skip would be really good. So the thing I'd be okay with, one, I would like to state that I'm not emotionally ready for this anime to end. Mostly because it's just like one of those things, like it's been around for 25 years now, and you're sitting around and you're just like, oh man, I could, first of all, the thought is like I could watch this with my kid and we could both connect with the same character I connected with as a kid, and which is kind of mind-blowing because like I reflected on this real hard yesterday. Like this hit me real hard after I saw the news. Like harder than it should have. And I was just like, man, I'm not ready for this because like as much as like I'm 30 now, right? I'm 31 and Ash is still 10, 11 years old, whatever. But I started watching him when I was like, 8 or 9, and it's just one of those things you look up to him, and it's just like one of those characters immediately you look up to, and you're just like, it's kind of hard to like think of a world where somebody you quote unquote looked up to, like looking up to is the wrong terminology, but somebody that inspires you to some extent. Then you see that they're just leaving and they might just be gone. And
where
it's
does
just
he go from here?
Well,
you know?
Okay, to be fair, people ask that question when he won the Alola League, right? They're like, what's he do from here? And to be fair,
But,
he just did win the world tournament. I do agree.
The whole song is "Be the Best" like no one ever was. He's the world champion.
Okay, that was the old song. That was the old song, Seth. Okay.
Yeah, shush.
That was the old song.
What's the new song? I want to be the world champion and nothing else.
I mean,
I want to be the worst like no one ever wanted me to be.
Well, part of it was also that Ash was being a researcher, right? With the professor. So it could just be like, yeah, you're world champion, but you want to go to Paldea and like look at this thing for me?
What if he gets a new job?
Yeah.
I mean, he could just be like...
kind of,
I would love to see...
When you're saying about like a time skip, I had a feeling of like, what if it kind of came down to like, we get a new one and it's like, kind of like how like OG one, you had like Ash going on his journey. You kind of had like Misty with it, and like Brock kind of was like a mentor in a way too. Not a mentor, but like he was like
like an older brother.
Ash went on a journey, and like he was like he had an apprentice.
Nice.
And then they kind of like they filtered that way of like
no,
an older
I would be
Ash
okay
with a
with
younger
this.
main protag.
I would be okay with as long as Ash is still there because he's just the face of the franchise at this point.
Well, just give Ash a couple years, and then like you go, hey. Now he's older.
It's just really,
16 in the Pokemon world. It's like 38.
It's just really weird to see, to think that like they might try to push Pikachu without Ash, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Because half the reason Pikachu's the mascot that it is because of the anime. Like maybe even more than half. And to see a world where if they try to reboot the anime, they'd obviously have a Pikachu there of some sort. And to think that it's not the Pikachu that's Ash's Pikachu is kind of mind-boggling. Yeah, it's not the Pikachu, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's very, it's very frightening to some extent.
Time will tell.
I hate having this feeling about Pokemon lately, where I have this like sense of dread every time I'm waiting for some kind of news. because like I think Scarlet and Violet looks great, but there's like things that sit in the back of my mind, like did they cut this feature? Did they cut that feature? Like please tell me they didn't, because they've had this history of like taking things away, especially things that fans have really enjoyed. And I could see like, oh man, there's a world where we could take away breeding. There's a world where we could take away, we already took away half the Pokemon. So why, you guys don't need this, right? Just catch Pokemon like Pokemon Legends Arceus. Why would you need to breed to get an Elekid? Get out of here. And just catch your level 50 Elekid and be happy with it.
Wait, speaking of Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah.
So, in addition to the Gimme Ghoul drop that happened, we got another trailer, a big trailer, on like Tuesday, I think, right? Was it Tuesday?
It was kind of like it was just like an overall trailer, but it did reveal stuff.
Yeah,
it did reveal
it did have
stuff.
a couple reveals.
Yeah,
it was the one with the Ed Sheeran song, which I kind of liked, but whatever.
It's all right.
The Ed Sheeran song, I feel the same way about the Ed Sheeran song that I feel about the Katy Perry song, if that makes sense. Because it's like, hey, we found this artist that was popular like 6 to 7 years ago, and we had them write us a song. We're cool, right?
I dig that because it gives me a real world anchor into the Pokemon.
No, I'm not. I think Ed Sheeran's is probably better than Katy Perry's, but
I kind of. Anyway, moving on.
Yes.
In that trailer, we caught a couple glimpses of a couple of things, and all the news from the Pokemon website that tags along with it.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 new Pokemon were revealed.
Yes,
they are Great Tusk for Scarlet and Iron Treads for Violet. To me, they look a lot like a Donphan, but they don't call it that. Like what?
They 100% look like a Donphan. They 100% look like a Donphan.
This feels a lot like how they called, what was it, Buzzwole, the codename Absorption, but they never use the word codename. They just call it Great Tusk or whatever the heck.
I mean, you can if they don't have proper names, right? Like if they I don't know.
That's true. And I'm looking at it too, and like, how is this different than the name Talonflame? Other than the space between the 2 words.
You know what? You're not entirely wrong, though.
Yeah, like
I did like that some people were just like, these are their names, because they were like looking at the translations, right, to other languages, and then people go, no, literally those words are literally just translated Great Tusk and Iron Treads. That's literally what they mean.
I'm excited for this because that Of the two, I think the Great Tusk looks a lot more menacing than the other one. I'm really excited for whatever that
definitely does. The Iron Tread with the little circle face makes me hate it.
The computer face is so goofy.
The computer face is
but
goofy.
It just doesn't make me. It doesn't make me scared. It just goes. Okay,
to be fair, isn't Koraidon's eyes like, or not Koraidon?
Miraidon, yes.
Isn't its eyes like that?
The same thing.
Yeah, so
it's a little pixel.
It is, but
I mean, we've already seen
though.
kind of hints of this with like the Cyclizar and Koraidon and Miraidon, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if that's like semi-related.
That could be. That's a good point. Yeah,
could be,
because we've seen regular Dawnfan. So.
We have seen regular Dawnfan, yes. Which is the most exciting inclusion in this game by far, is regular Dawnfan.
Makes me just think we're getting Armor Evolution, you know?
I better get my what's it called? I better get my early game fan P. That's all I want. All right. Also, EV Terra raids are going to occur in Scarlet and Violet from the 25th to the 28th. So we're going to get weekend raids back, it looks like, because there's even another one after that. But
as long as after that raid, we get another 2 weekends. I think they're weekends.
Yeah, they're
the
weekends.
First Black Crystal Terra raid, which I assume is what they're going to use for like event raids.
Yes,
is a Black Crystal. Is the Terra Dragon Charizard with Mightiest Mark.
It'll
run from December 2nd to the 5th and 16th to the 19th of December. And other than this, Charizard is not available in Scarlet and Violet, so this is your only way to get a Charizard. This event raid.
Thanks, I hate it.
Thanks for Charizard again. I was hoping for a generation without it.
I'm not even worried. Okay, so I'm not upset that they put Charizard in. Okay, I'm not upset that they put Charizard in. I'm more upset that they're leaving out Blastoise and Venusaur again. Like in Swish, they only brought in Charizard. It wasn't like home compatibility, both Blastoise and Venusaur, but I hate that they leave them out constantly because it feels bad because if you started with Charizard and Charizard like your OG starter, there you go. But like if you didn't start with Charizard and you played Red and Blue, or Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, by the way, like very recent games, that could have been your first, and it's only Charizard. And you couldn't bring the starter that you actually connected with. That feels bad, man.
So we've got a couple things. The ranked battles for Scarlet and Violet, the online stuff, start in December. So we've got a little bit of time to catch and train up your stuff.
Yeah, about 2 weeks probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it's been confirmed that if you have save data on your Switch for Let's Go Pikachu Eevee, Sword and Shield, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, or Pokemon Legends Arceus, you will get custom phone cases for use in-game. So you can change out how your Rotom phone looks. Some of them look kind of cool.
Everybody can
I'm glad they have at least something for save data.
Yeah, I still think that Legends Arceus did it better. Or not Legends Arceus, BDSP did it better. That you get like a Mew and a Jirachi just for like having save data.
You get actual Pokemon, you can't really beat just actual Pokemon, but hey, I'm just glad we're getting something for having save data. I just enjoy that little...
And I'm glad it's not like...
I enjoy.
I'm glad it's not something important either.
Yeah.
It's not like necessary to play the game. It's not like getting a Pokemon where this is the only way you can complete your Pokedex by having these save data or something like that. Not that you need those two for that, but like it could be way worse, and I'm glad it's just something minor. And I'm glad we're just getting something at least.
Well, we are on to the part and the reason that I picked this order. We've got some Pokemon Unite news, folks, and the most
biggest
important
Pokemon
one.
Unite news.
Wednesday is going to be a big day for me because I've got this and something else going on that day, Pokemon trivia. But on Wednesday, the 16th of November, Sableye is dropping in Unite. Y'all get ready because I'm learning how to play this game.
Sableye looks also really good from what little bit I've seen of it.
It does look really good.
He's a little gremlin and very annoying.
If y'all play League, imagine a combination of Cassiopeia and Evelyn. It's gross.
And then also, starting December 1st, if you play Unite on Switch with Scarlet Violet save data, you'll receive the in-game uniform for your character. And then there will also be an event in January if you don't have the game. So one way or another, you can get them, but...
Oh, that's cool.
You might have to wait a little longer and play the event.
That's kind of cool. And we also got a little bit of hints for what's coming next as far as Pokemon to the game. The next set is going to have a 2-stage fighting type Pokemon, a 3-stage dragon Pokemon, and a single-stage fairy Pokemon.
Dragon
What
Ball.
they are, we don't know.
Oh no, we know two of them at least. One of them is one of your favorites, Seth.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, I know two of these. I don't know what the third one is actually, but no.
So-
There's I think in the public test server they've got the first two on there at least.
Yeah. The Dragapult. Cough. Who said that?
Dragon Ball, Kung Fu Panda.
Oh gosh, you
it's
know what
gonna
would be
be
a cool
Urshifu.
combination? If your entire lane could turn invisible at will. Golly gee, that would be cool.
That's something. Oh, right.
Hmm.
Well, TCG. Well, this isn't really TCG. This is just competitive Pokemon
Regionals
in general.
in general.
Yeah, well, international championships, because they did announce international championships. These are the ones that will have VGC at them.
Woo.
VGC will be, and TCG are going to be at the Oceanic Regional. It is going to be February 17th to 19th in Melbourne, Australia. Europe, the Europe International Championships are going to be in April 14th to 16th in London.
Ooh, that's different.
And North America's were on the website for like a half a second and then got taken down. Probably because this is like the earliest they've ever announced NAIC, I think, if that's the case. They claim it's June 23rd to 25th in Columbus, which is to be expected.
But then they removed it,
but then
so
they
it may
removed
not
it.
be. So.
Yeah, I honestly don't know if they just did it to prevent people from like trying to book travel that early. I don't know. I feel like Pokemon has a thing where they don't want people knowing about things too much in advance for some reason.
It could be something that wasn't 100% sure too, and they don't want to like
Might
book
not be
it in
locked in.
advance, and then people to get upset if they have to cancel it or something, or maybe even something came up as they announced it. Who knows?
I could see them still being spooked by the Rona and getting worried that they might have to shut it down and don't want people to pay for travel or something.
I think it's because they still haven't filed their paperwork with Roz, the Columbus Monsters Inc. lady, and they don't want to go through, but you haven't filed.
That's very possible as well. That's very possible.
You still got 5 more forms to go.
As somebody who's rented out space in a convention center before, actually not that hard.
Yeah.
Actually, surprisingly easy. Surprisingly easy.
Well, you weren't bringing in 2,000 people.
No, but they did think I was bringing in like 250 or something for some reason.
That's true.
And which I was just like, that's definitely too many. And they're like, nobody else is going to take this convention center space. So you can just have it.
All right.
All right. So some little Go news to finish us off, Shamu.
All right. So as part of the recent Rocket event, Giovanni is back with two Shadow Mewtwo. I don't even know what that means. Giovanni is back to Shadow Mewtwo. I assume his team just changes.
No. So you can catch the Shadow Pokemon in Pokemon Go, right?
Yeah.
And so if you battle Giovanni, his legendary changes from month to month.
Oh, okay, that's what that is. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and the admins also have new Pokemon, and Shiny Pawniard has been unlocked. Mostly available in Rocket 12K Egg.
All right. Puckle's Poke prediction. We'll make this quick today. Will terrestrialization be legal in OU at the start of next year?
At the start of next year?
Yeah.
Oh,
will it get banned? Will it get banned between in that first month and a half? I guess is the question.
I don't know.
I'm saying yes. I'm just gonna say yes. I don't think it's that bold. I don't think it's that bold to say yes.
I think the little bit we got from when some of the creators went to test it, it was like what? 1.5 if you didn't have it, or you get double stab or something.
Yeah, but you keep your old stab, and you keep your old stab though.
Yeah.
The keep your old stab, I think, is the biggest thing that we learned that might be like, I don't.
Yeah, the fact that you get stabbed with 3 types.
I'm just gonna say no because I think the Smogon mods are too scared of new things.
Also, it might just like everything getting if the math is whatever, like if it's adaptability, if it's a 2x boost on stab instead, if you go to original, that just might be too. Like, what can stop that? Like,
yeah,
what?
There are some scary things that was just adaptability on top of that, and also losing their own, losing a bad secondary typing is
like, can you imagine a Dracovish with adaptability too? Like, whoa.
Yeah, that's not great.
It might be. It'll be interesting.
But the thing is with that though is like specifically with Dracovish, it would lose dragon typing.
A thing it never used anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. I'm not gonna say it's not, but it's one of those things. A certain mod that might take advantage of it could also lose options because of it.
That is true. That's always something to consider. I think it'll still be here at the start of next year, but there will be a lot of calls to get rid of it. That's my prediction. Because a month and a half is a little too fast for that. I don't even think Dynamax was banned until, I don't know, months into the next year. We'll see.
I think you're right. Yeah, it's just we'll see. It comes down to like how people break it.
Yeah.
And if anything else new does break it, too.
And what Pokemon we get to break it with. That's
Pokemon moves. We don't know everything yet.
That's my call. That's what straw I'm putting that in. What? What?
All right. Well, on that note, we're going to go ahead and kick it on over then to Puckle's Poke Quiz, where we're going to quiz your co-host on their insane Pokemon knowledge.
Hello and welcome to the Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz your co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge. I'm Professor Snag with the rules. The co-hosts are working together as a team to answer 5 Pokemon-themed trivia questions that you, the listeners, have submitted on the Discord server. Each question is worth 1 point, with Pokedex and multiple answer questions worth more, for a total of 7 points. The hosts can use a free hint at any time. If they get all the answers correct without using the hint, they can cash it in for an 8th point.
And welcome to Puckle's Poke Quiz. Thank you for that introduction. We're going to jump right on in to our first one. It's going to be from, let's see, we're going to go with Batista. There are 3 Pokemon lines besides the Chansey line that can learn Soft Boil. What are they?
Hey,
Is it one of them, No, I'm thinking something else, I think.
I know it's Clefable.
Yeah, you know that one, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Mew can too.
Oh yeah, because Mew can learn any TM, and that was a TM at one point.
Yeah, I think it was a tutor and TM. So
I think
that's
Gen 1
2.
it was a TM. I think Gen 1 it was a TM.
Yeah, that
it was
feels
a TM
right.
at one point, yeah. So was it so Mew and Clefable, essentially? Is that
Mew and Clefable are for 2 of them. There's another one.
Oh, one more. Soft Boy. What learns Soft? Like, I want to say it's Executor, but I don't think that's right. I'm thinking Egg Bomb and not that.
Yeah, because Soft Boiled is eating an egg. That's a little...
Exactly, yeah.
For some reason, Togepi came to my head.
That sounds... It bugged me because it sounds right, but at the same time, I don't know, and I don't know. It's one of those moves I haven't, I feel like I'm getting stuff mixed up.
I'm going to need an answer.
We could just say Togepi.
The Togepi line, yeah. Sure,
Yeah,
why not?
Sure.
Yeah,
Lock it in.
Togepi, Clefable, and Mew are all correct.
There we go. Okay.
So that is all 3. That is a 1 for 1.
Heck yeah!
Good job, team. Good job indeed. All right. Well, let's keep going. We're going to ask you your next question. It is going to be from the Crimson Trainer. What are the only non-mythical Pokemon to be able to produce eggs for a species outside of its evolutionary line when bred with Ditto?
Oh, what? Okay.
So one not mythical. So saying what other than Fia, like the Fion stuff, can breed a Pokemon
Fion.
that's not.
If you breed with a
line.
Ditto, you can get something out that's not that Pokemon.
I think... do we have a number of how many?
There are 2. I'll give you 2.
2?
2, yeah, 2.
I'm trying to think.
I think it's Nidorina line.
Would we Nidorino because they just both go back both ways? Because you breed a Nidoking with a Nidoqueen, the Nidoking gives you a Nidoqueen. One of those is
actually unbreedable.
Yeah.
I forget which one. But yes, you're correct.
Yeah, okay, that's one. Cool.
The other one's a little bit more foreign.
I feel like it's Illumise and Volbeat, one of those 2.
I will accept that. Because I don't remember which one it is either, but that is the correct answer.
Cool, sweet.
Oh, wow.
It is Volbeat and Illumise, for whatever reason. So, good for you guys.
I guess they're gender locked.
They are gender locked.
Yeah.
They are gender locked, yep.
That's
I think
interesting.
it's Volbeat. I think it's Volbeat of the 2, but I could be wrong.
Probably.
Neither of them have ever mattered. Neither of them have ever mattered.
Because Volbeat used to have some fun stuff you could do with it, but
Prankster Thunderwave, baby.
Yep.
Would Tail Glows used to exist?
Yeah.
Tail Glow used to be a move.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys are 2 for 2. Your next question is going to be your Pokedex entry question, as always. We're going to get you this one from Sandrew Adair. Its Pokemon Crystal entry reads, to intimidate foes, it spreads its chest wide and makes eerie sounds by expelling air from its mouth. Who's that Pokemon?
Sounds a lot like an Arbok.
There's a Pokemon Crystal entry, so it's definitely 1 or 2.
Sounds a lot like an Arbok hissing snake, and the mark is on its chest.
Oh, it says mark upon its chest. Oh, then yeah, I can't think of anything else that has a mark on its chest right off the bat. And inhaling it, yeah. I'm okay with Arbok. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head that would make sense for that.
There's something tickling the back of my brain, but I'm comfortable with throwing the Arbok there.
It's so early on, we did not have a bunch of, things that were kind of, easily seeing, a mark on their chest either.
Yeah. Let's lock it in.
Yeah, Arbok.
Arbok is correct.
Yeah.
The hint entry was from Red and Blue, and it said it is rumored that the ferocious warnings the ferocious warning markings on its belly differ from area to area.
Yeah, that would have locked it in for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes,
cool.
It is Arbok. That is, You guys are 4 for 3. So this next question is going to be worth up to 2 for you. Now this is going to be a fun one because I don't know how much you guys are going to know about this.
No.
There are 6 answers here. I honestly am only going to ask for 2 of the 6 to give you potential 2 points. This is going to be from Trev, the Late Night Legend. I like this question because you kind of have to think about it a little bit, but it's a good question.
Okay.
Out of all of the Pokemon that have ever been used to win Worlds and VGC, what 6 Pokemon have been on a winning team 3 times throughout the years?
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's Chalk real quick? Chalk starts with Cresselia, right?
Cresselia, Heatran.
I'm going to give you 3 strikes, by the way. 3 strikes and you're out.
I'm gonna say Cresselia is one of them.
You have to lock it in. You're locking that in?
I'm locking that one in.
Cresselia is actually correct. That is one of them.
Because I remember even 2013, that was on a lot of teams there. So that was
correct.
Instant Cresselia, boom. I remember that.
Kyogre screams out to me.
Oh,
I think that's the K
how many
in Chalk.
gens had I just remember how many teams how many gens actually had the full all legends rule.
Yeah.
And Kyogre is very good but the thing is, when do they get to play? Once every 3 or 4 years?
Yeah. But usually that's about the time the world's format happens, is something like that. I'm comfortable with that one.
You want to? We can take a shot with Kyogre because it sounds like if it is in the thing, it's definitely gonna be in there.
Yeah. Lock in Kyogre.
Kyogre is unfortunately incorrect.
All right. Okay.
Maybe a Moongus because I know Moongus again Gen 5. I believe it was played in Gen 5.
Yeah.
Quite a bit, and then also even more recently, and again also Chalk.
Yep.
Let's try a Moongus. I have a feeling a Moongus.
Let's go for it. Lock in.
Amoonguss is unfortunately also incorrect.
Wow.
You have one more strike.
Pachyrisa. No.
That was only once, actually.
I know.
That was once, yeah.
Is it something that was used alongside that, like a Salamence or a Garchomp or something like that? Or Incineroar?
Incineroar has been the last couple of years, but it's, again, I'm thinking of what was something in Gen 5 too that was also used, and Lando screams to me a little bit, but again, how I don't feel like it's been out in. It was an X and Y too, wasn't it?
Yeah, Lando. Yeah, I think so.
It's this year, Gen 6. I want to say Lando. I think Lando might be one of them thinking about it now, because it's been around long enough. It's been round and not cold or anything for the last couple of years, even though we had 1 season or 2 without it, I think, in Sword and Shield. But it's again, every other before that, it was there.
It's Intimidate. It's kind of like what Incineroar is.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with that. Let's do it.
Let's try Lando.
Landorus.
Landorus is unfortunately incorrect. No.
All right.
So that is, you guys got 1 point there on your multi-answer question. So you guys are 5 for 4. The 5 Pokemon you did not hit were Snorlax, Salamence,
Salamence, sure,
Metagross. Yeah. You guys were so close. Incineroar.
Incineroar was there. Okay.
Thundurus is the other one as well. Just Thundurus. Thundurus has been there more often. Yeah, because Chalk actually didn't win the year that Chalk was actually really big.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right. Fair.
I don't. Yeah. Because it was like
on Chalk were the things that were just meta throughout the years too, minus Kangaskhan Khan.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what the K stands for.
Kind of. Heatran.
Okay. What other years did Kangaskhan Khan even have a chance in the meta? You know.
No. I'm saying that. I mean, obviously the other ones didn't win though either.
Yeah.
The other members didn't. Cress has just always been good, though.
Yeah, the same thing. A lot of the other ones have always been good. That's what my point was. Like, that would be a good baseline, too.
Yeah. Landers has seen a lot of play in VGC. Okay, but we're getting off topic. This is the quiz. Yeah. Okay, to be fair, okay, you don't have to use the hint to get the extra point because you have gotten a point on every question thus far. So, cool. You could cash it in for an extra point if you would so desire. This is going to be your base stat question as always. They're both from Poly today. And we want to know what not fully evolved flying type has the highest base speed.
Fastest NFE.
Fastest flying type NFE. Flying type NFE.
And it's just like flat out not fully evolved.
Yeah.
Not like a only middle stage or only basic or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as it's not evolved.
As long as it's not fully evolved.
Okay. Fletchinder comes to mind.
Fletchinder does come to mind. I'm trying to think, what are the fast flying types? Like, I know one of them is Ninja, and that's not counted at all, because the pre-evo is not flying. The pre-evo is not flying.
Right.
Fletchinder's up there, though, because Talonflame's like 128.
Yeah. 125, I think, but regardless.
Or whatever. Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
120 something. What other flying types are fast that are of those?
I keep just thinking of birds. And I don't know if that's correct or not.
Partially. Because I'm just trying to think of, like... I'm thinking... Some of the birds I'm thinking of, like... Oh, yeah, the Evo's fast, but not the...
what is Yanma? What is Yanma's speed? Isn't it
I think Yanma's...
70, 80? I don't know. It's pretty speedy, because it took a while to get an evolution.
Yeah. It's up there, but it's below 100, and I think...
Wait.
Like 90.
We're dumb. We're dumb.
I can't think of... Oh, yeah, Slice is above 100.
That's 110. Or 105. One of the two.
Yeah.
So that's one.
I'm trying to think, what is fast? Is there anything faster than a Scyther that's also in that range? Like, and I can't even think of... I can't think of any other flying types that are, like...
Yeah.
Slow. Or fast, or whatever. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I'm going through
What's
as many...
What's Murkrow's speed? Is Murkrow's slow, too? Right?
I think Murkrow is deceptive because it has Prankster.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's naturally very fast.
Honcho got like a little slower.
I'm going to need an answer here, guys.
Let's just say Scyther.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that.
I feel okay with that one.
Is correct. Scyther's got a base 105 speed. And I closed the document accidentally, and Murkrow is on that list somewhere. Golbat was at 90. I think Murkrow is at like 95.
Oh, yeah, Golbat.
Golbat's pretty fast. Golbat's a lot of fun in like draft. Like it's a good NFE
Golbat's
pickup.
like a very good mod because it had like an okay thread, and then it got an evolution, which just made Eviolite good.
Yeah, it's doing all right.
The accidental buffs of Eviolite.
Yes.
Right.
All right. So that is going to give you guys a total today because you can cash in the hint. That's 7 points, I think. Yeah, you guys only missed one. Altogether, but we're gonna go ahead. I had that sheet pulled up and it disappeared on me too, so that's nice. We have that
virtual high five.
Yeah. So we had a great time doing that. We're gonna go ahead and give you guys your 7 points. You guys, I would like to remind them that they are in a race to 40 with their fellow co-hosts instead of 30 because I want it to last longer. I want the suspense to be there. All right, in first place, we've got Seth Vilo with 20 points. In second place, we've got Linian with 12. In a tie for third, we've got Claude and Shark with 11. In fifth, we've got Mark with 8. In sixth, and tied for sixth, we've got Sublime and Shamu with 7. And tied for eighth, we've got Sigma, Jushiro, and Whimsicott, all with 6. Everybody else is yet to get on the board.
Killing it. We got this. Woo!
Woo! All right, so we're going to kick it on over now, guys, to our topic. So, we'll catch you when we're there. We have another review this week from iTunes from Boy Jeff. Amazing, 5 stars. I just started listening this year, but I've loved it ever since. Well, thank you for that, and if you would like to review us wherever you listen to the podcast, we would really appreciate it. It would help us out. On top of that, you might be able to be right on the show. Well, until then, we're going to kick it on over, guys, to the topic. And welcome to our topic. Our topic today is Silver Tempest release. This is one of our monthly deep dives into the competitive scene. Silver Tempest is the newest TCG set that just dropped. Unfortunately, Lost Origin format only had like 2 months in the sun, which kind of sucks for that format.
Yeah, it got delayed. So now we're back on schedule.
Now we're back on schedule. So this one will get its time in the sun, probably far longer than it should.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we'll get Crown Zenith, and that might change things. We'll see.
There's some interesting stuff in there.
There's a couple cards in that, but that's not what the show's about. So we're going to be talking about Silver Tempest, the set that just released. We've been cracking packs, having a good time. This was surprisingly more meta-changing than I thought it would be.
Me too.
Yeah.
Like, hey, here's some cool tech just to like finish off Sword and Shield.
Now, here have some game-changing cards.
They're just like, hey, how about we just give you a new best deck in format? Like, oh, okay. I want to jump into it. A few cards that we want to bring up first, and probably go through relatively quickly, are going to be the new Radiant Pokemon that came out. For those of you who are unaware of the TCG, Radiant Pokemon are certain cards that have been coming out in, I guess, the past 4 sets now. Silver Tempest did it, Astral Radiance did it, and I guess Pokemon Go did it, and Lost Origins. So that's 4.
Yeah.
We get 12. We're going to get 12, and I think Crown Zenith's going to get a couple.
Crown Zenith has 3. One of them is a reprint, but we'll let that be for now.
The ways they've been putting shiny Pokemon into the game.
Yeah.
These are basic Pokemon. They are worth 1 prize, but they usually have some cool ability or attack that lets you do something.
And you can only have 1 Radiant.
Yeah, and you can only have 1 Radiant Pokemon total in your entire deck.
You gotta pick 1.
Radiant Greninja was out. You cannot also put in Radiant Alakazam or something like that. You can only put in one or the other.
Exactly.
And speaking of Alakazam, we've got the Radiant Alakazam.
It's trash.
It's a psychic type, of course. 130 HP. This thing is mad. The reason you have it is that ability is Spoonful of Pain. Once during your turn, you can move 2 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another one.
Garbage.
Whatever.
Okay, but if we were to review this based on the name of the ability, I think it's an A+.
Spoonful of Pain is great.
I think it's an A+.
Because the thing that's going to be doing damage...
It helps the medicine go down.
Yeah.
Don't be mad that that you lost. Be happy that I won.
Be happy that I won. Spoonful of salt.
I just ate a whole bottle of ketchup.
Yeah. Be happy that I won.
Yeah.
It's also got an attack for Psychic and a Colorless Mind Ruler. That's 20 times, just 20 damage for each card in your opponent's hand. Could that get big? Yeah. Are you ever gonna really, you're not gonna use this card. This thing is terrible.
You're never gonna use it. No, you're using it to move the damage around.
In a world of Marnie and Judge, no.
It's moving the damage around, but I don't see a deck that'd be using this.
I can see a couple decks that would use it cheekily. But they're not, I mean, these aren't for good, this isn't gonna be in good decks.
If this was instead of 2 damage counters from 1, if it was move a damage count up 2 times per turn, move 1 from 1 to instead of doing it 20 at once, do it 10 at once twice. Because that would shut down Zoroark.
You just want it to be damage pump.
But it's on your opponent's, it's not on yours.
Yeah, I know. You just want it to be, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yes, if it was twice, then you could kind of counter Zoroark in a way.
Yeah,
that would be an answer to it. But again, Zoroark's not great. It's not bad. It's not meta. It's just
even then, I don't think Zoroark's not good enough to make me worry about it.
So let's hit another garbage Radiant, and I can take that one. We've got Radiant Serena. Its ability, because all these ones this time pretty much are for their ability. This one is Elegant Treatment. Once during your turn, you may heal 20 damage from each of your Pokemon. Garbage.
It's like bad Gardevoir.
It's like bad Gardevoir.
You should just play Gardevoir, just to not take the damage to begin with, and then not have to worry about it.
The thing with Gardevoir is it's from V's, which is someone could say it, but you'd rather take less damage than heal damage back, generally.
Yeah, I'd rather take it from the V's because there aren't a ton of single prize decks in the format that I'm too scared of. I'm not too scared of Lost Box coming at me real hard and fast. You know what I mean?
I'm not even going to go into the attack because it's bad.
Yeah, I think the best one is Radiant Jirachi, and the bar wasn't very high.
Jirachi is the best one.
Radiant Jirachi has the ability Pass a Wish, and if this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, which is very clear, it has to be an attack. It can't be the Sableye from Lost Origin can put damage counters on. That wouldn't count. What it lets you do is to let you search your deck up to 3 cards and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck, which is actually pretty decent. You do give out a prize as a result.
You also have 90 HP as a heads up, so a lot of things can knock you out easily enough.
Yes, you can level ball. Or you can also just level ball that too, which is kind of nice.
On level ball, it's the thing too, yeah. Level ball will actually be very relevant with this set, with stuff later.
What's notable about this too is since it's on the knockout, your opponent doesn't have a chance to Marnie out of your hand whatever you grab.
Exactly. They can't disrupt it. which is good.
Yeah, so you just get the 3 cards you need to, like, hopefully blast off the turn after that.
And the attack is kind of cool, too.
Yeah, if you're feeling cute, you can have the double colorless to flip 2 coins, get double heads, the opponent's active is knocked out.
I like it as, like, a threat to your opponent because...
it wants to be in the active.
It's a very cute thing.
If you don't knock me out, I'm gonna knock you out, probably.
There's a 25% chance that you will be.
No, then you just play Glimwood Tangle. It's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was going to bring up Glimwood Tangle. It does rotate eventually, but...
You just play Glimwood Tangle, which lets you just reflip the coins.
It's cute. It's the most useful by far, but still pretty gimmicky. There are stronger Radiants you want.
You'd rather have a Greninja or something else, or a Gardevoir, but again...
Greninja or a Charizard or a Gardevoir.
Yeah, like, but hey, this could come up. It's a 90 HP thing, that's level ball range, and that's the last Radiant, but speaking of level ball, we're gonna talk about some utility stuff that's in the set.
Yeah.
The one thing is, we got trade back again on the Gardevoir line.
Yeah, I love it. I love it being on the Gardevoir line too, because it's a lot different than previous trades. There's some really good plays, because I did this actually during the Silver Tempest pre-release with the Kirlia. So for those of you who don't know what trade is, it's an ability that was on a Zoroark GX way back in the, well, not way back, but
way back in the day.
Way back in the day.
They've reprinted it a couple times. It was on Zoroark GX, which was a good attacker and a user of it.
That was the first time. That's why everybody refers to it as trade.
Yeah, and then we got it on the Cinccino from Sword and Shield. It was called something different. Was it Make Do? Make Do?
Yeah,
okay.
It was called Make Do there. Now it's called Refine on the Kirlia.
We got trade again on the Liepard in Astral Radiance.
Yes.
That's true.
Called trade, but yeah, now here on this Kirlia, it's called Refine.
This one's exciting though.
The cute thing is, it's 80 HP, so it is level ballable, like the Cinccino.
Yeah.
But the Gardevoir also has Refine, so you could use Kirlia's Refine, evolve it, and then Refine again.
Yeah, which is a fun combo.
It is.
On top of that, the Ralts that came out in this set is actually like kind of cute.
Is it really?
So some Pokemon cards just have one attack, right?
Yeah.
And like a good example would be, let's say you're in a matchup against a Lost Box deck, and they're trying to cram you. They're trying to cram, or a Miltank, yeah. And so you pull out the Ralts, and the Ralts, I believe, is 1 energy to attack. And the attack, it does 10 damage, but you select a move on your opponent's active Pokemon, and they can't use that. They can't use that move.
Torment.
It's Torment. Yeah, it's Torment.
Well, that might not be called Torment, but it's effectively Torment from what we're aware of.
It was really cute in the pre-release because you would do it and you would stop your opponent from using a move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That has uses. That's if this is a thing you're in your deck.
This Gardevoir line, because combine this with the Gallade and Gardevoir that we have already.
Yeah, it's a very good engine.
A very strong support line. So if you're looking for something to fill your hearts after Inteleon goes away.
I know the Gallade has Buddy Catch, so you can search your deck for a supporter. What does the Gardevoir do? Is it like something with energy? The other Gardevoir.
The Gardevoir is look at the top, I think, 2 cards of your deck and attach any energy you see that way. Otherwise, draw the cards.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's if you don't want to use the Refined Gardevoir too. So,
yeah.
But, yeah.
So you've got options.
It's very cute. I'm glad we're getting this back.
I like it.
The Rapidash is kind of butt, but
yeah,
I don't know why we put it here because it's kind
cute.
of butt, but
it's cute.
It's cute,
and
it's like the old school Volcanion EX from Steam Siege.
Yep, exactly.
But instead of being a basic, it's a stage 1, so everybody will play it. That was sarcasm.
Yeah.
It does have the ability Heat Boost, where once per turn you can discard a fire energy from your hand, and if you do until the end of your turn, your fire type Pokemon do an additional 30 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon.
It's not limited to once a turn on like one ability.
It could stack.
Yeah, you can get multiple out and discard them, stack them, and then you have Scorched Earth to combo with it.
Multiple stage 1 Pokemon out.
It is, but again, with EXs, we might actually have stage 1 mechanics that work. It's something to keep in mind.
We may with the EXs. No, that is true. We may have stage 1 mechanics.
The idea that Shamu and I threw around, which was just stupid, was getting 4 of these out and using Volcarona V, which does damage based on the amount of fire energies.
Yeah, there's a couple. You could do Volcarona, you could do Entei too, to like recur them, and also like Entei to take advantage of the bench. It is good. Not exactly, but this is something to keep an eye out for. And that's what this little utility section is kind of like. These are things that might come up in a future meta or something to keep an eye out for.
Fire just doesn't have a lot of support right now. I think they've been scared ever since Welder.
It's got some, it doesn't have enough. which is fine, but yeah, they're afraid to make anything with Welder.
Welder was stupid, so that makes sense.
I can take this next cute little one. It's Claydol. For those people who have been playing for a long time, you might remember a good old day where Claydol was useful. Well, it's not back yet. This one has the ability Mystery Charge. Once during your turn, if you have no supporters in your discard pile, you may attach a fighting energy from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon.
It's not great.
Not great, not good.
The Rapidash was better.
You could build a cute no supporter deck.
Yeah, they have a couple cards that have that line of the no supporters. So they're like, they wanted to make something, but they didn't fully do anything with it. It's like, there's a Stonjourner, and then there's a Stunfisk, like electric Stunfisk with it too.
Yeah.
The Pika clone deck is better.
I could see this being really cute in a deck that heavily utilizes something like Pokestop to discard a lot of things.
You could do Pokestop. There's also Gutsy Pickaxe, which is like top card of your deck. If it's a fighting energy, attach it. If not, just draw it. They've got pieces. We're just like, again, it's one of those things of maybe in Scarlet and Violet, like one card that just makes something happen. Who knows?
It could make something happen. I don't disagree. I just think this is kind of meh.
Good to note.
We do have like a Swords of Justice, like all of them are here, and they kind of play off each other. The Cobalion is definitely the better one, if you want to play it.
The Cobalt, yeah, they play off each other, but the Cobalion is the best.
The Cobalion is a bit more splashable, yeah, with the ability Code of Justice. We should rate these just honestly based on the names. Code of Justice is a good one.
The names are getting better with some of the stuff.
Not as good as Spoonful of Pain. Attacks from your basic Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active dark Pokemon. So that's kind of nice. It's like justified a little bit.
Yeah, that's what they're going for, thankfully.
For two colorless, which is easy to hit with Twin Energy or double colorless, you could do 30 damage. Choose up to 2 of your bench Pokemon. For each of them, search your deck for basic energy and attach it to that Pokemon. So it's kind of like Budget Arceus, which is kind of nice. I mean, I'm not against it in that regard. Like Budget Arceus is still good.
Yeah, it only does one energy to each of the 2, so you can't do like 2 to 1. But it's the fact of like, here's the utility mon. Maybe Dark will be good. Right now, it's not. Like the like actual like attackers aren't the greatest.
It wasn't that long ago when it was good, so I don't.
Yeah,
it could come back around.
Exactly. It's just something to keep an eye out for. Like, hey, here's a tech for Dark in case that comes up again.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we're done with the utilities, we've got the
we can talk about the good stuff.
We've got the main 3 plus the fun, I guess. Do you like Alolan Vulpix? Here's an Alolan Vulpix. You don't want to play Palkia? Here's your Water V.
The actual good Pokemon. Here we are.
Did you want to play a Water-type V-Star? Because Water definitely doesn't have any support in this meta. Here you go. That's sarcasm, by the way. Water has way too much support in this meta.
This Vulpix line is cute and can take a lot of people off guard. So it's...
Well, tell me about it, Seth. Tell me about it.
Yeah, sure. So I'll just quickly go through the Vulpix V. It doesn't do a whole lot. It's got a free attack, 10 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a V, it does 50 more. So for free, it can do 60 to a V. Whatever, who cares? But the V Star, it's a water type. It's got 240 HP. It evolves from Alolan Vulpix V into Alolan Vulpix V Star. It's not a Ninetales.
Also, this is the lowest HP of a V Star I think we've had,
Correct.
Alongside of maybe like the Unknown too, I think might have 240.
That sounds about right, yeah.
But yeah, it's like one of the low ends of a V-Star.
Yeah. So for water colorless, you have the attack Snow Mirage. 160 damage. This attack's damage isn't affected by effects on your opponent's active Pokemon, so it goes through things like Miltank.
And it deals with enough damage to get rid of Cape of Toughness. It does 160, hits that number.
Well, no, that's not an effect. That is not... Oh, yeah. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, I understand.
But it does 160. Miltank plus Cape of Toughness is 160, so you still kill it through the...
It does take out Miltank, yeah.
Yeah, I understand what you mean now. The other part of the attack, during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon from Pokemon with abilities.
That's a lot of Pokemon.
That's a lot of Pokemon. That is a ton of Pokemon.
It sounds really good. It's a lot of Pokemon, yeah.
If only there was a stadium that entirely removed abilities from an entire class of Pokemon.
Right?
Because, important thing to note, that is what ruins this Pokemon, is Path to the Peak does not nullify abilities, it removes them. So, the Arceus, after it drops its own path after using Starbirth, when Path is down, it does not have Starbirth. You basically take a pair of scissors and cut that part of the card off. So it goes through this.
And same thing with, like, Charizard. it had the rule box on it. Well, Charizard, you want the rule box active, but that same type of thing too. It's like it would, if it had powered up enough, it just goes right through it.
It goes through this.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you're gonna have a Charizard with 5 energy, but it's just
that's kind of a bummer for this one.
Oh, its V-Star attack is still like decent.
Yeah, the V-Star attack, I'll go through that too. It's a free V-Star power, so that's cool. And it does 70x damage. This attack does 70 damage times the number of your opponent's Pokemon V. So it's a big kaboom.
Yeah, and you don't apply weakness for that one, surprisingly.
Yeah, actually, I didn't read that part. Yeah, don't apply weakness or resistance, but not much resists water. Weakness is metal, resistance is none, and retreat cost is 1.
I don't remember any card that's resisted water ever.
I don't know. I'm sure there's been one, but...
I'm sure there's been one, but it hasn't... to be fair, resistance has taken a backseat for a very long time.
Yeah, ever since the weakness went to 2x, no one cares about resistance, other than, a couple numbers here and there.
I think, the only other Lugia has it now, and I think Zacian and Zamzenta have it. I can't think of anybody else that's got a resistance right now.
Who wants to take our electric boys?
I want Lugia, so I won't. I'll wait my turn.
I'll take the other. You take one Regi, I'll take the other. Go ahead, Shamu.
So we've got Regieleki V, which is 200 HP. It's got a little pivot attack for 1 lightning, and then for 1 lightning and 2 colorless, it has lightning wall for 100. And then during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 100 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and such. 1 retreat, weak to fighting. It's a very cute thing. But then we also now have Regieleki V Max with 310 HP. It's got an ability, Transistor. The attacks of your basic lightning Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. And then I think I removed the energy on this one by accident.
I think it's electric, colorless. I could be wrong.
I think it's the same thing. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
It is electric, colorless for Max Thunderstrike, yeah.
Yeah. It does 220 damage, and then during your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. Weak to fighting, no resistance, but it has a retreat of 0.
Woo! Regieleki has free retreat!
Yeah! Finally!
Yeah.
I thought the VMAX too, which is funny. But yeah, no, so this is it's a support mon on a VMAX, which is a little weird, but it actually works fairly well, especially when we've got things like Vikavolt and Raikou.
Yeah, we've got a lot of basic lightnings.
Vikavolt is the basic lightning to play this with.
Yeah, because your attacks are just doing 30 more now, and getting 2 of them on the bench.
So for those of you uninitiated, Vikavolt V is from way back. That's Vivid Voltage?
Sword and Shield base. Darkness Ablaze.
Darkness Ablaze, yeah.
So it's in D block. It's going to get rotated out here soon, but
it is. It sucks.
It's the way to do stun in the TCG right now. Item lock.
For electric and a colorless, you do 50, and then your opponent can't play item cards during their next turn. I think specifically from their hand, but I don't think that matters really.
Yeah, but you can't. Where else are you going to play item cards from?
Well, exactly. It's just one of those things. That's just how it's worded.
So yeah, it does item lock, but it does 50. But if you have a Regieleki or even 2 Regieleki, you're bumping those numbers up
to 110 to start.
And not including choice band.
You're getting in range of 2-shotting. Yeah, you're getting into the range of 2-shot, which is good for it. And then if you want to play a heavy hitter, you could do the Raikou, which is just 20 plus 20 for everything on both benches. So you can cap at 220. And then with the Regieleki, each one gives you enough.
Well, 220 damage from Regieleki is not bad either, so.
Well, that's 220 with the full benches. With the 2 Regielekis, that's 280.
220s prior to a Lecky.
Yeah, 250, 280. You can just do 280. So that it's a big hit. If you need a big hit, can just come out of the Regieleki itself.
A big hit can even come out of the Vikavolt because it's got an attack for 190. So it's a cool deck. Shamu and I are trying to work with this, and we're thinking.
I've done a couple games with it. It's pretty fun. It's pretty nice, especially with the Melanie engine.
I've played it a bit too.
It might be one of the ones we bring to Arlington. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I've been playing it as well.
This is something to keep an eye out for. Keep an eye out more for this than Illil and Vulpix.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is something you might see being played, because even I thought I got a mirror match on this when I was playing it on live. So it's people are messing with this. This thing is a bit disgusting because Vikavolt alone can just win you games, even if you don't get Regieleki powered up.
Don't get too attached to using your items.
Vikavolt's been showing up at almost every tournament anyway, in some form by itself, and I think with Regieleki it's going to help.
We've talked one Regi, let's jump into another. We've got Regidrago V. It's a dragon type, 220 HP basic. 2 attacks on this guy. Heavenly Scream for the first one. Discard the top 3 cards of your deck and attach all energy discarded in this way to this Pokemon. kind of cute. And for Grass, Fire, it's got Dragon Laser 130 and does 30 damage to one of your opponents benched. So a little bit of a snipe. Weakness is none, as with all dragon types now. Resistance is none, and retreat is 3. He's a chonky boy. Then we move on to the big one.
Nobody cares about the base one.
The base one is useful. The attack is important to just know. So we've got Regidrago V star, note V star, not V max. The Aleki is V max. This is star.
And if you're new, V max versus V star is the difference there is V star usually have an ability / attack that they can only use once per match. And on top of that, V max are worth 3 prizes if you knock them out, and V stars are only worth 2 prizes when you knock them out. And it's usually just based on the HP value, because as we just said, the V stars are usually around 280, and the Regialeki is actually on the lower end of the VMAX, and that was at 310.
They're above 300. Yeah. VMAX, they're like 300 plus.
So it is harder to knock them out typically.
Yeah. Thank you for that recap, Thatch. That's good to make sure that we remind people.
Yeah, because that would have meant, that matters for that stuff too.
Yeah, I just don't want us to get too much into the weeds so that people can enjoy it.
Exactly. So we've got Regidrago V star. It's got 280 HP, and for Grass, Fire, the same attack cost as the attack it had in the basic form. It's written here as Dragon Dream, but I believe it's something else. I think it's Apex Dragon in English.
It is Apex Dragon.
Choose the attack from a Dragon-type Pokemon in your discard pile and use it as this attack. You do not need to satisfy the energy cost of the attack you select, so you can just throw any dragon in your discard pile, no matter how ridiculous the energy cost, and use its attacks with this Regidrago V-Star.
You will have to apply any other effects it has, as in like Giratina V-Star, which does 280, but then you put 2 energy attached to this card in the Lost Zone. You still have to put those energy in the Lost Zone, and things like the Garchomp V,
which has you discard 3 energy from yourself, so you discard all 3 of your energy.
But there are some the whole gimmick of this deck is to like get powerful dragons in your discard to then use their attacks as this, like Goodra V-Star. You can use Rolling Iron with just the Grass Fire. You can use Duraludon VMAX. It's pulverized to get through things like Miltank.
Yep. The big 3 are Giratina to do 280 really easily.
Get the V-Star KO.
The aforementioned Goodra with Rolling Iron, that does 200 damage, and then you take 80 less damage on the following turn. And as Shamu said, the Duraludon VMAX has an attack for 220 that goes through all effects, so Miltank cannot stop you. So it's a V-Star, so it's got a once per game thing, and this one is an ability, Legacy Star. Once during your turn, you may discard 7 cards from the top of your deck. Then, you may choose up to 2 cards from your discard pile, reveal them, and put them into your hand. It does not have to be from the 7 you just discarded, so you can just recur 2 of any things from your discard pile upon the resolution of this effect. Weakness is none, resistance is none, and retreat is 3.
The new best deck in format, because we gotta break everything with the last set of the Sword and Shield block. And so Lugia is the poster child for Silver Tempest, though they try to make Vulpix the poster child because they kit bash 2 sets together from Japan. So Lugia and Vulpix were both there. So Lugia got a V and a V-Star. They work very well together with an Archeops that came out in this set as well. It is kind of an engine because a lot of people are doing a lot of toolboxy things with it. By toolbox, you can just kind of shove in a bunch of cards for tech, which is a lot of fun to play around with. It helps you counter things, and that's kind of one of the reasons this is awful.
There was even a Lugia Regidrago deck that we saw.
So the whole engine, I'm going to go a little bit backwards on everything here, is that there's an Archeops that's here. So the Archeops is a colorless. It's got 150 HP, stage 2. It's a stage 2, which is odd for those of you who might know that it just evolves from Archon, but you have to evolve from a fossil. The Archeops has this ability called Primal Turbo, which once during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 special energy cards and attach them to one of your Pokemon. And so special energy cards include things like Double Turbo, Twin. There's an energy called Powerful Energy that's in D block that lets you do an extra 20 damage if you're attached, and that does stack. If you were to have 4, you would be dealing an extra 80 damage. And then even additional to that, you have like hiding energy and stuff like that come into play sometimes. And it's got an attack for 3 colorless called Speedwing for 120, which actually isn't terrible in this deck if like you get pushed to actually attack with Archeops.
It's not bad. It's a 2-rate KO on like any V essentially. Then V stars it might not KO. Like a choice band would get a 2 KO on V stars.
Yeah, it's kind of insane to think about in those regards. But you've got that. So I'm going completely backwards because you would think I would talk about the V before the V star, but the reason we care about this Archeops and we don't actually care about the Archon or the mysterious fossil that it evolves from, is the Lugia V star with 280 HP. It evolves from Lugia V, obviously. It's got an ability, it's its V star power, so it can only use this once per game. And what that allows it to do is you're allowed to choose up to 2 of your colorless Pokemon from your discard pile. And it doesn't stay basic Pokemon, which is an important thing to note. Except for Pokemon with a roll box, so you couldn't pull out like a Lugia V or something or a V-Star and put it on your bench. It does mean, though, that you can pull the Archeops out of the discard, even though it's a stage 2, and just put it on your bench without having to go through the evolution. So that means that you can power up this Lugia with that Archeops. The Lugia's attack only costs 4 colorless, and it's Storm Dive for 220 damage. It does also let you discard a Stadium in play, which is just kind of insult to injury, in all honesty.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it really is.
It doesn't need to exist, but it's there, so you can just like really screw up your opponent if you really need to.
You can get rid of Path to the Peak and or like Temple of Sinnoh, the thing that would like kind of hurt your deck on the attack that you're just spamming anyways. It really is insult to injury. Additionally,
the Lugia actually plays somewhat similarly to the Regidrago V, where you can get some cards into the discard. Lugia V, 220 HP, which is actually pretty high. I think it's almost as high as you see a V go. I mean, there are 230s that exist, but
typically 220 is the number.
And so this has, it does have a 4 colorless attack and arrow die for 130 damage, and it still lets you discard the stadium in play, because why not? We should just not have stadiums. Additionally, for 1 colorless, so this can get you rolling if you're having like kind of a slow start, and maybe you need to get these Archeops out of your hand. You can discard a card from your hand, and if you do, you draw 3 cards. It's just an incredible acceleration for the deck, and this deck has been. You can combine it with a lot of other things. One thing that people have been playing with, because things like Goodra or Regidrago can be a problem when they get really fat and bulky. There's an amazing Yveltal. It's called an amazing because that's what it was in.
It's an amazing rare.
An amazing rare.
The whole gimmick of those that they have like whack energy cost using 3 different types of energy.
Exactly. So the Yveltal requires, I believe, fire, dark,
lightning. I think.
No, I don't think it's lightning. It might be steel.
Fire, dark, steel, and then colorless.
And 2 colorless, and its attack lets you just knock out a Pokemon.
Yeah.
And so what you do is Aurora Energy, which can count as any type of energy when it's attached to a Pokemon, is considered a special energy. So you could theoretically, if you have your 2 Archeops on the bench that can accelerate 2 special energy, you can actually power up one of these in a single turn, because all you have to do is go, okay, I'm going to put 2 Aurora Energy with the first Archeops, then an Aurora Energy and a double turbo, which is your old school double colorless, but with like some other caveats because they found out double colorless was kind of stupid and overpowered.
Yeah.
You're powered up on your Veltal and you just get free knockouts. There is some other tech I've been playing around with, which is the amazing rare Raikou from the same set. Mostly for the mirror. That one requires 3 energy. I think it's electric, steel, and
grass.
Grass.
I remember grass with one of them for sure.
But you can accelerate 3 energy to it right away. You're doing 120 damage, and if you're facing off in the mirror against Lugia, which has weakness to electric, that's 240. If you slap on a choice band, that's a knockout. Additionally, it's doing another 111 damage, or 110 damage, not 111. 100. It's 120 damage. You're right.
It's 120 across the board.
Yeah, it's 120
to a Pokemon on the bench. So that can definitely mess up your opponent to some extent as well. So it's a fun deck. I don't like how fast it can be because sometimes it's stupid fast. You can get a lot of the cards you need turn 1, and by turn 2 you're just popping off. Like I was testing I was dumb and I went on the ladder like the day Silver Tempest came out because I was very excited myself, and I was playing Regieleki because I was just like, a lot of people are gonna be playing Lugia. And so I'm still figuring out the sequencing for Regieleki myself. And I was playing it, and there would just be turns where the Lugia would just pop off turn 2, and it's just like, well, you can't do anything now. Have fun.
Yep. Enjoy.
I was just like, okay, cool. I'm just like, but I have super effective attacks. It's like, yeah, I don't care. So it's just knocking you out. It's insane. It's insane. So it's a fun deck. But there's a few trainer cards to talk about, which we should definitely get into. At least 2. There's at least 2 to talk about. The other ones are like meh.
I can knock out a few things real quick too. I'll skip around and I can delete some of these too. But I'll start with the Capture Aroma. It's a flip a coin. If heads, search your deck for an evolution Pokemon. Reveal it, put it into your hand. If tails, search your deck for a basic Pokemon. Reveal it, put it into your hand.
It's like Quick Ball plus Evolution Incense, but random.
It might be relevant depending on the deck, because once D-Block rotates, we're not going to have Quick Ball. At the moment, we're not going to have Quick Ball or Evo Incense. They might get reprinted in Scarlet and Violet. We don't know, but it's a thing of this technically replaces those or one of the other, depending, and it's something to be aware of.
It's Pokemon Search, which we need.
Yes, which we will need, yeah. It's always really weird at the beginning of a new block anyway, or a new generation. It's always interesting because they do take away staples on purpose just to really mess with us. Like I remember in X and Y when they got rid of N for hand disruption just to mess with us for like a year, and then they're just like, okay, game wasn't healthy. Here's N back.
And there's another quick one that's very simple. One of the supporters is Lance. Right now it's not the greatest, but in case we get a very good dragon deck, it's just a search your deck for up to 3 dragon Pokemon, put them into your hand. And then as all supporters, you can only play 1 supporter during your turn. But right now, is it good? I would say no. But in case in the future there's a deck that just like, oh, look, you just need like basic EX Dragon, then you can just search your deck for 3 of them at once for 1 supporter, it could come up. Like, kind of like Winona back from X and Y stuff.
It's cute with the Drago, and that gives you a lot of potential.
The one that I'm most excited for, and is a stupid card that shouldn't exist, is Forest Steelstone.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So this is a Pokemon tool card. There's another one like this as well called, I believe, the Earth and Sealstone.
Earth and Sealstone.
I always forget what their names are. I just call them tablets, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah, same.
So this is a Pokemon tool, which means you can attach it to your Pokemon. And when you do it, if this is attached to any Pokemon V, so a V, V-Star, V-Max, you can use a V-Star power. So if you have a Pokemon V-Max, which wouldn't have a V-Star power, you get a V-Star power. And this is, these are big because it's just going to bring back, it's going to bring a lot of V-Max Pokemon back into relevancy. In particular, like this, I think of Mew.
It helps Mew a lot. It also helps Regieleki too, that we talked about. Give that an ability to use.
This ability that this one gives, the Forest Steelstone, which is probably the more prominent of the two, is that you may search your deck for any one card and put it in your hand. Arceus V-Star has a similar ability of its own called Starbirth, where you get 2, but this is half an Arceus. And that's pretty big for any deck, where you can just draw this, and then at any time just go, yeah, I need this card.
I need the boss for game.
It's very dumb.
What's important to note about this one as well is, for those of you who see this and see it's an ability, oh, gee, that means I can't use it under Path to the Peak. You are incorrect, because Path to the Peak blocks the Pokemon's abilities.
It's a weird ruling where this isn't a Pokemon's ability. It is just...
And it's a weird ruling. It's a weird ruling. It's an ability on an item. So even if Path to the Peak is down, you can use the ability on this tool to, for instance, grab an opposing stadium and get rid of that Path to the Peak so your other Pokemon are live. That's why it's really good in Mew.
The other tablet is the Earthen one, which gives a V-Star attack for 3 colorless.
Yes.
Put damage counters on all of your opponent's Pokemon V, so V, V-Star, V-Max, until they have 100 HP remaining.
That could be fun for some gimmicky decks, I feel like. It's just...
And, yeah, the very cute gimmick is the Greninja V-Union, which is 100 to everything on your opponent's field.
So you could knock out their entire field.
Yeah, the whole thing is that you bring all their Vs down to 100, and then you just do a sweep for 100 to finish them. The issue is that this is only on Pokemon V, but the only deck I would see using this is honestly like Lost Zone. I could see them play like throwing in a V. Like the one V I always see, I think of when I like the test with this is the Pidgeot V from Lost Origin, where it can just shuffle itself back into the deck and get rid of itself. So you don't have a 2 Pryther on your side, but...
Yeah.
because Wallstone has a whole thing of you're powering up just trying to get your Cramorant online to attack for free, which does 110.
Yep, just enough.
So this will put them in range, and you can easily just play like Mirage Gate to power up the 2 energy on top of the manual Thatch to get all 3 energy in like 1 turn. To just use the attack. Oh, I've used my V-Star attack on my Pidgeot, let me get it to the bench. Ability, shuffle it, and everything attached to it into the deck. Cool. It's gone. It's a very cute thing, and maybe other decks will.
So there's finally one final tool. It's called the Leafy Camo Poncho, and it's a tool as well, like I said. You attach it to a V-Star or V-Max, and whenever your opponent plays a supporter card from their hand, prevent all effects of that card done to this Pokemon. So, Boss's Orders is a card used to pull up something from the bench, put it in the active slot so you can knock it out. This stops that from occurring on your V-Star and V-Maxes, so it makes them unbossable. They can't be pulled up to the active, so they're safely on the bench.
This would be something good for like, I would say it'd be good for like, what's it called? Regieleki if it didn't have Zero Retreat. Like, if you have like a supporter V-Star, V-Union that you don't, or not V-Union, V-Max, that you don't want like in the active really, or like just brought up because it's not up, this is the thing you might want to run, but it's a very tech card.
I don't think the altar's too exciting.
A stadium that gives you the trekking shoes where you look at the top card of your deck and you can kind of just discard it and each player can use it.
I'm just going to smack the Pokestop and spin it.
Pokestop is better, but it's a thing that's kind of cute. Because it just like, oh, do you want to discard that? Sure. Cool. It's a milk card. Maybe it'll come up in the future. Who knows?
Who wants to talk about the best supporter?
The supporter that's from this set, Serena.
Sure. Go ahead.
For the next 2 months.
The $4 like uncommon.
And it's because it's one of those supporters that lets you do one of 2 things. It pretends to be Boss's Orders, but not exactly for one of them.
Very reminiscent of old Tate and Lisa.
You switch one of your opponent's benched V Pokemon with their active Pokemon, so it's only V Pokemon, so you couldn't boss up something like the Radiant Charizard, but you do get to gust up the Pokemon V, which is nice. But additionally, you can discard up to 3 cards from your hand. You must at least discard 1. Then draw cards until you have 5 cards in your hand. You have to get to choose which one of these effects you have. I'm always a big fan of choice, okay? So...
It's nice to have a little draw supporter and or a boss.
Have you ever been trying to get yourself off the ground early game? You don't need a Boss's Orders yet because your Pokemon can't even attack, but you drew all 3 of them? Well, this card is the card for you.
Yeah. And honestly, a lot of scenarios right now, you don't need Boss's Orders. Like, Boss's Orders is nice to have like a one-of kind of in your deck in case it is that one matchup, but you really don't... I don't feel like you need to boss anything up other than another VMon at the moment, to be honest. Like, there's a few scenarios, sure. But, like, really, like, oh, cool, let me get that Crobat and kill that.
80% of the time, you're just bossing a V. There are definitely times where you're bossing tech, but about 80% of the time you're going for a V.
There might be a case to run more bosses, like, if you're worried about Lugia, just to get rid of, like, the Archeops that are fueling it.
Or the Dunsparce.
If you're worrying about the Archeops, I feel like you're too late. I feel like it's too late for you in this world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're not wrong. Like, I'm just like...
The Dunsparce is the big example there, where Dunsparce eliminates colorless Pokemon weaknesses. If you are a electric deck, I don't know, like a Regieleki, trying to target down a Lugia's weakness, you want at least one Boss's Orders to get rid of the Dunsparce they like to include, and actually be able to hit them for weakness. So there are definitely pros and cons, but I love having a high count of Serena. I'm just sad that when EX Pokemon come out in Scarlet and Violet, this card will lose a lot of power because it does not gust up EXs or Rule Box or whatever. It only gusts up Vs.
The good old classic TPCI power creep.
Here, have this thing that's really good for 2 months.
They're doing better with that by saying Rule Box now in a lot of things.
Yeah, Rule Box would be great, actually. If the Rule Box was on Serena would be good forever.
Yeah.
Immediate 4 of and everything.
Yeah, immediate.
All right, so V-Guard Energy is the last one, I think. This is a special energy card, so you could boost it with the Archeops, but as long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides a colorless energy. The Pokemon this card is attached to takes 30 less damage from the attacks of your opponent's Pokemon V. You can't apply this effect of V-Guard Energy to more than once on a Pokemon. That does help out a lot, though. It essentially cancels out Choice Band, or Choice Belt. Choice Band was GX's, Choice Belt is V's.
The anti-Rule Box damage thing that every format ended up having.
The 5th set of every format, it just shows up. And this is, I mean, I'm sure we'll get like choice specs for Pokemon EX or some nonsense. That would be fine. I'd be okay with that because last time this is choice belt, and then before that it was choice band. So give me choice specs. I'm here for choice specs. Macho brace, something. All right, but yeah, that's V-Guard Energy. This is a very exciting set. And before we quit, though, I wanted to very briefly. We should go over. I want to know how you're all feeling because this is the format we're going to be playing in Arlington. Thankfully, it's like the third major tournament in this format. So we do get to see what's wrong with our thoughts, and we get to course correct. Right now, personally, I am still tossed up between 3 decks because with the inclusion of Tablet, Fusion Strike Mew becomes pretty consistent, like insanely consistent. It's super consistent, and I've been playing that, and I've played through the 3 decks that I'm really looking into, like Lugia. I'm looking into very much so. I think my hope for Lugia is that it's not as good as everybody thinks it is, and so it dies off in popularity a little bit, so I don't have to play 9 mirrors. If we go to Arlington, I don't want to play like 9 Lugias. But if the popularity wanes off a little bit, I will probably play that because it just feels good. It just feels good. I don't know. And then Mew I'm looking into only because it's my first tournament, and playing in person is a lot different than playing online for those of you at home. And I'd like something where it's a little bit lower stress, and I can just make it go burr.
Mew is such a very fun and easy helmet deck. You just strap on your helmet, go for the ride. I want to empty my hand, and I want to draw my hand, and I want to empty my hand, and Fusion Strike System.
And now that you can get around the turns where you just are path locked and you can't draw cards and you just sit there forever waiting for something to happen, now you've got Forest Sealstone, so you'd...
Yeah, and you just get rid of the path, and then you just go. And yeah, I mean, you really only need 2 turns and you're good to go. Like, you're set up. And the Fusion Strike is slightly better in terms of prize trade than the Turbo variant, so it's nice. And then I'm also looking at Lucky like you guys are. I haven't personally figured out the sequencing, and honestly, after getting donked on by a Lugia a couple times, I'm just like, what's even the point?
If you're not beating what you're designed to beat, like, what are you doing?
I think, look, with this set, Mew gets really strong. I don't know if it's gonna... It'll be there, you'll see representation. I don't know if people will find some way to just, like, we're just gonna see an influx of Drapion.
So the thing with Drapion that I've noticed is that a lot of people will play Drapion. This literally is what just happened in the meta. A lot of people play Drapion, and then nobody plays Drapion, and then Mew wins, and then people start playing Drapion again. It's just a wave. So I think it depends on where we are in the wave, right?
Yeah, exactly.
At Peoria, I had it in my deck, and I hit exactly 1 Mew all day long, and it was just, oh gosh.
If I'm gonna play at a tournament and I'm not playing Mew, I'm just gonna, well, maybe if I'm playing Mew, I'm just gonna play the Drapion anyways, just to have it as a one of, if I draw it, I draw it, but I want to have that easy, if I get it in that Mew matchup, I just want the easy win.
I can assure you it's not an auto win with that, take my word for it.
No, it's not an auto win, it's not the right way to say it, it's just, but essentially it's a free knockout on a Mew VMAX. Which is, like, half the prizes you need. But, I feel like Mew's gonna get better with the Sealstone because you get the free any card search and stuff like that. Lugia, I think, is good. I want to say Lucky's good, but I have a weird feeling it might just be too slow.
Agreed. Having played a couple with it, agreed.
There's definitely some good, the water engine with Melanie and Greninja is very strong, but I don't know if it's enough to make it hold up. I don't think, I want Drago to be good, but me personally, I don't think it is.
It's just got almost everything it needs. There's just something.
All we need in the form, like, for that deck to be better is we need better grass acceleration.
Yeah, even Gardenia doesn't do it.
Gardenia is so bad. Gardenia is like, it's just, if it didn't say benched only, if it just said, attach 2 grass energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon, it would be fine. But it says benched only, and that just ruins it so much, because it just forces you to do so many different things. But, the one thing Drago has is the fact that you can do like 3 different things on one Pokemon.
It's like you're playing 3 different decks.
Yeah, you're getting the stalling, like you're getting the defensive of Goodra, you're getting through Miltank, so you can't, like, people can't stop you through abilities and stuff, and then you have just the one shot of Giratina V-Star. But I think it's a bit too bricky and cloggy, especially with getting the stuff in the discard, and especially when it's like you need to get 3 different cards in the discard, and when Lugia is just like cool, let me get at least one of these Archeops. You want both, but like if you get one, you're fine, because you can still like get 2 per turn. But I don't know. I just
what I experienced with the Drago in my couple hand testing is awesome. I've got one charged up. I've got all the energies attached to it.
It dies. What happens next?
But I don't have my dragons in the discard.
Yep.
So I can't attack with it.
Too many moving parts that don't always line up. When it lines up, it's awesome. It's great. It's perfect. But getting it to line up where it's just, I don't know. I think the things to take out of the set are Lugia, the thing to watch out for. Mew's gotten better just because of that. And I think just, be wary of Electric. I don't think I would say be worried about Drago, but be worried about, like, the Regieleki, just because Item Lock just got a buff, and that just, again, I said it earlier, someone gets a Vikavolt off, that's just an instant win sometimes. That's all you need is that Vikavolt attack to go off once and you win the game.
I tend to agree with a lot of these points that we've already made. I think the decks that I'm bouncing between are Mew, Drago, and Aleki. It'll just be testing, doing little tournaments in between now and then to see what I like best. My heart really wants to go for Drago because I love being able to do more than one thing. Aleki does one thing. Mew does one thing. Drago does 3, and we just got to figure out the perfect 60 for it.
I really didn't answer the question either. I'm kind of with Seth on that. Like, I want to do Drago, I want to do Aleki. Worst case, maybe I'll do Mew.
All right. With that note, if you like Silver Tempest, go ahead. If you have been playing Silver Tempest, we'd love to hear from you. But also, if you're excited for Scarlet and Violet, which is because this is the last time we get to not talk about that.
It's right here. It's right here on a doorstep.
All right. We're going to kick it on over, though, guys, to the Pokemon of the episode. So let's catch you on the flip-flop.
Poke of the episode.
Welcome to the Pokemon of the episode. Our Pokemon of the episode this week is hiding from me. It is National Dex number, I believe, 108. I'm going to remember this off the top of my head.
109.
Coughing, the poison gas Pokemon. 109, I was close. 109, Coughing, the poison gas Pokemon.
Its Alpha Sapphire Dex entry reads, Coughing embodies toxic substances. It mixes the toxins with raw garbage to set off a chemical reaction that results in terribly powerful poison gas. The higher the temperature, the more gas is concocted by this Pokemon.
Wonderful. Coughing, we're focusing on Coughing because today we have a Little Cup team, and Little Cup is one of the most exciting formats of all time. And we should all just play Little Cup before Scarlet and Violet comes out. And then even after Scarlet and Violet comes out. But right now it's a lot of fun because Coughing's in and it gets neutralizing gas. And compared to the Gen 7 Little Cup meta, this is just so much fun.
Yeah.
It is just so much fun. Like Little Cup, I love Little Cup, especially as a learning tool. I really wish more people would use it as a learning tool. Like if you want to get into competitive Pokemon, I think Little Cup is the way to go. Because it teaches you so many skills that are far more complicated than OU, like speed tiers.
Yeah.
Yeah, speed tiers are very simplified, because, like, this thing is 1 point faster than this, instead of, like, just knowing the base 10 is, like, that speed tier.
Yeah, because your speed tiers are just, like, 5 to 20, and you know which Pokemon has what speed stat. And that's way easier than being like, oh, what speed tier is this Pokemon in? And it's just like, yeah, that doesn't matter. Just
your numbers are just simplified, you know? It's like, instead of dealing with hundreds and tens and 20s and, like, ranges of, like, 15 ranges of speed, you're dealing with, like, 3.
I love it.
It's not exactly accurate, but, you know. Like,
I really love Little Cup for this reason. And I think we should all play it. Coughing is a great Pokemon, though, because it gets neutralizing gas, which means no ability sometimes, which is actually kind of big for a lot of Pokemon. A lot of Pokemon that think it can take it out as well. It really prevents a number of shenanigans from happening on the field. And I just love Little Cup. And it's it is my favorite format of all time. I just wish more people played it. So Coughing, you know, like I said, neutralizing gas. It also gives access to Levitate, but nobody really cares. You just take the Earthquake like a champ. You're going to be fine. So it's got also a decent defense stat as even like an unevolved Pokemon at base 95. Base special attack is 60, base attack is 65. The move pool is surprisingly pretty decent too. It gets Pain Split. It gets Fire Blast. It gets a lot of fun little things that are really techy. It does. I think it also gets Thunderbolt.
You get T-Bolt and you get Flamethrower, and the one on our team of the episode is running T-Bolt.
Yes, as it should, because then because people try to stall you out with Toxapex, and that usually slows you down.
Little Marini.
Yeah. Marini, not Toxapex. It's same Pokemon doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just, smaller.
Yeah, so the coughing we are running today is Eviolite, Neutralizing Gas, 36 HP, 156 defense. All of these are weird because level 5.
And I will say that's one thing, like, it might be, some people might be a little daunting seeing these spreads, because it kind of is. Like, when you look, because I just think of VGC spreads too, and I see this when it's like, I've got these little points to tech for this, but in Little Cup it's more of like, you have these points because you're only gaining like one stat point per like 4 or 5.
You just do it based on the stat points, right? So if you go into Showdown, you can just do the little toggle slider and see when you actually get a point in that stat.
Yeah.
And that's all you're doing. 116 special attack, 156 speed. It's got a modest nature. Zero IV in attack because Foul Play is still a move. And yeah, this is Sludge Bomb, Thunderbolt, Will-O-Wisp, and Pain Split. But this, oh man, I just love this. I love
handled Mandibuzz too, or not.
Should we give the little coughing trivia about how it's got a card relevant to the TCG?
Hey,
Ascension.
It just does Neutralizing Gas again when it evolves into Wheezing, but
it does.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
It's such a horrible stall because it prevents like all abilities.
I hate it so much.
All abilities when the Wheezing comes in, and
you can't really do anything to stop it because it doesn't have a rule box.
Yeah, it doesn't have a rule box. You just have to beat it up, and then the Empoleon doesn't stop it.
They just slap it inactive, and you just see the opponent smiling at you, And
it's one of my least favorite decks to play against.
Agreed.
I would say what it makes me feel, but that'll be all censored.
Yeah, it's like when you play the Durant, and because most of the time when you play these decks, it's in a best of 1 scenario where it's just like, oh man, because if you were to play it in a best of 3 scenario, it's a different game.
Yeah.
In the best of 1 though, you're just like, man, I don't want to do this today. But it does have actually a really good deck, or a really good card. So just honorable mention to that. Honorable mention. But yeah, Coughing's Bulky Boy does bulky things. There's a Natu as well, which actually is a really fun lead in Little Cup. It makes Natu, honestly, Natu gets put in some of my favorite Pokemon territory just because of Little Cup, because it's not relevant anywhere else.
You could say it's not too bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It's holding Eviolite. It's got Magic Bounce, so it bounces back any hazards that your opponent might try to set up. It's got 36 HP, 76 defense, 36, because you're all writing this down, I assume. Listening to this show. 156 special defense, 196 speed, timid nature, Psychic, Heat Wave, U-Turn, Roost. Also, Heat Wave is great because Pawniard is a huge Pokemon in the meta, and I believe Natu can actually take a hit from it before it goes down, and it can take a, also, Pawniard typically don't run their max speed either. So they'll run 14, they'll have 14 speed in Natu.
They tend to be more bulky, I believe, right? They're bulky and defensive, generally, than fast.
Yeah. And then Natu will have 17 speed, and Natu will outspeed the Pawniard most of the time, so you can just Heat Wave and probably get half damage done onto the Pawniard, if not more.
Enough chips to come in with something else and finish it off.
Exactly. Enough to cause a problem. But there are more Pokemon on this team, so I will let you guys talk about them.
We've got a Drillbur also with Eviolite. 36 HP, 236 attack, 212 speed, though just essentially max attack, max speed with a bit of splash and HP just to kind of make the points useful. Jolly Nature with Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Rock Slide, and Rapid Spin. So, I don't think, and Mold Breaker too. I don't know if I said that. I probably did. But just good old Mold, just good old little baby Excadrill, just hit hard.
I think Diglett's better, but
probably, but Mold Breaker is useful for some scenarios too, in case someone had a Coughing with Levitate.
Yeah, Drillbur's also just bulkier than Diglett.
Yeah. Just a hit hard, bit bulkier, but that's what it does. Then we also have a Mienfoo, also with Eviolite, Regenerator, with 196 defense, 36 special defense, and 236 speed, Jolly Nature, Fake Out, High Jump Kick, Knock Off U-Turn, essentially just like Mienshao.
Mm-hmm.
Just slap Regenerator, Fake Out U-Turn, just fighting coverage, knock off.
Wonder why it's defense. That seems weird to me.
Oh no, they usually run them bulkier. Nowadays.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
No, because if you run bulk like this, one, you're hitting your 17 speed, which is the max speed on a Mienfoo. Mienfoo will normally, it's already got a high enough attack stat, just without any boosts, that it can just it can 2-hit KO things that are, if they run defense, you're going to 2-hit KO anyway. Additionally, if you run that 36 special defense, you can actually survive a psychic from an Abra. And Abra's real big.
I see. Okay. All right. Well, I've got the last two, and it's me, so it's the defensive backbone of the team. We have Pharaoh Seed holding, shocker, Eviolite with Iron Barbs, level 5 as always. EVs are as follows: 4 HP, 36 attack, 108 defense, 4 special attack, 228 special defense, and 116 speed with a bold nature. The moves are Spikes, Giga Drain, Knockoff, and Thunderwave. Remember, Pharaohseed has a garbage attack stat, so special attack's probably better. And then support moves, Spikes, Knockoff, Thunderwave. Very good. Very, very good for a Pharaohseed.
Does what Ferrothorn does, but it's a baby.
Yep.
Same thing.
I've used it in draft several times.
It's just Ferrothorn.
Ferrothorn Light.
Yes.
And then finally we have a Frillish holding a Choice Scarf.
Yay.
Oh, wait, isn't that supposed to be Eviolite? It's all Eviolite, right?
You'd think so, and I lied to you when I said I was doing the defensive backbone. I've actually got the offensive monster.
It is actually a little bit, though.
So it's got the ability Cursed Body in case it gets hit, and the EVs are 76 HP, 236 special attack, 196 speed with a timid nature, and attack number 1 is Water Spout. And then the others are Shadow Ball, Scald, and Trick.
Nobody cares about the others. You just care about Water Spout.
No one cares about the others. That's why you have a Magic Bouncer, so you can put this in at full health.
You want to spam Water Spout, and you can't spam Water Spout, click Trick. Make them fast.
Yeah, that's why you have this. That's why you have not to, and you have a Rapid Spinner, so you can get this in at full health and fire off stupid Water Spouts.
Yep.
So that's it.
All right. Well, this team will be up for the bot this week, if you're on Patreon. But also, the paste will be in our Discord server, so if you want to try it out and come play Little Cup with Thatch, be more than happy to do that with you. It's just a fun team. I'm glad this is the team we ended Sword and Shield with on the show.
Right.
Yeah!
We've been seeing so much Zash and Kyogre. Little Cup is the way to go.
Maybe we'll make that, what's it, a tradition. The last team of each game is Little Cup.
To be fair, I've just been getting back into it lately, and I'm having a lot of fun with Little Cup, and I'm really sad that it's about to end. I'm going to have to learn a meta. So.
No, you just learn Little Cup for Scarlet and Violet. It's fine.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm going to have to relearn Scarlet. Scarlet Violet,
right,
Cup.
yeah.
Has to be Little Cup. A lot of these Pokemon are probably missing, so we'll see. All right, so on that note, we're going to kick it on over to the mailbag, where we're going to read some emails.
It's mail time! Send in your emails! Mail!
And welcome to the Mailbag. The Mailbag is the segment of the show where you can send us an email at puclpodcast@gmail.com, and we will probably try to read it on the show if there aren't 14 of them like they were today. The ones that we don't read today are going to go onto the Discord server. We have an unread emails channel. Sleeve has been taking wonderful care of that. Also, my favorite thing is that Sleeve actually goes through all of them, takes everybody's favorite Pokemon, and does like statistics in a PowerPoint.
Does he really? Oh my.
Yes. Every single time we do one. It's amazing.
Wow.
So your input is being heard. I want to make this so clear.
Not only heard, but charted.
Charted. Yeah, I love it because Sleeve was super excited because this is like the most emails we've gotten for something like this before.
All the data.
He's just like, all the data, it's going to be great. So next time we do one of these, you guys have to do all the data. And oh my gosh, it's just great. I love it. I love it. It's one of my favorite things. It's like not doing the show itself, which is still fun, but also doing the stuff afterwards like this is so super fun. And so I really appreciate everybody sending in emails. Maybe this is the week that we have to bring back the unread email segment for Twitch/YouTube. And we just go ahead and read all of the emails that haven't been read on the show, because there's so many this week. Because last week we talked about top 5 ground types. We asked you what your favorite top 5 ground types were and why you disagreed with us most likely. And I am ready to dig into these. But before we do that, this segment of the show is brought to you by the energy drink Green Tauros, the energy drink that gives you hooves.
Hooves! Yeah.
And as always, we'll give out the Green Tauros badge if somebody gives something to remember to give the Green Tauros badge out for. without further ado, I'm going to jump into the first email this week. It is going to be, this one I believe is from Fiamon. Hi, Thatch and Puckle. Fiamon here. I'm a new listener, and I've been very much enjoying it so far. I've been very much enjoying it so far that I submitted a survey. Well, thank you. We still need those survey responses, so please, it's in the show notes. Please go ahead, fill it out. If not, it's on our Twitter and our Discord as well. Ground type is my favorite type. Most of the Pokemon of this type are just some great heavy hitters and super strong, and I love it. However, I was utterly shocked, stunned to the core, when it took you guys forever to mention the OG Hippo. It's the first Pokemon I think of when I hear ground type. That's actually true. I actually think that when I hear ground type, I do think Hippo.
I think Groudon.
Groudon? That's not terrible. Hippo though is like dirt colored.
Did you say Groudon?
Yes, I did. That was the joke.
Sandstream is a great ability. I've been playing the big Hippo using Sandstream with none other than my second favorite ground type, Flygon. I fear the top and bottom 5 dragon episode is going to be a messy war, since it seems that these duo dragon types never get to be chance on any list other than dragon. That's probably true though.
Yeah, I don't think of Samus as a flying type, even though
it's not a flying type. Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. It might dream to fly, but no, it's a dragon.
No, it's a dragon. I think Flygon is an awesome ground type. Actually, Flygon's a really good bug type. Being the elemental spirit of the desert. Come on, guys. Finally, understanding the backlash from Thatch and possible others, Rhyperior is a dope ground, and it's my highest CP in Pokemon Go. I will let you have your very valid opinion. I just think it's a very chunky boy, and I don't like it as much. Its Pokédex entry talks about like shooting golems out of its hands, and who else shoots golems? Alolan Golem, and Alolan Golem does it better because he has a mustache.
So is that all that it needs? Is a mustache? Pokemon with mustaches?
That and railguns.
Railguns?
That and railguns.
Well, we'll just turn Rhyperior into a railgun. We'll just glue its arms together, and then we'll just put some electricity through it.
You heard it here, folks. The reason Vikavolt isn't in Thatch's top 10 is because it doesn't have a mustache. It does have a railgun, but not a mustache. So,
but it's only half the criteria. It's also not an Alolan variant, a Gen 4 evolution, or from Gen 2. So it breaks all the rules, I do think that one of my favorite duo-type Pokemon are Arc Water Ground. The concept of a muddy wave attack seems really rough to me. Anyways, not really loving this list, people. Do better. And all love and fun. Fiamon. Well, thank you for that one. I love that. People need to give us more sass. All right, this next email is going to be from Disco Calypso, and I believe that's for you, Seth.
That is for me. So we've got salutations, Thatch, Whimsicott, and Linian. Joke's on you. It's me and Shamu. Ha!
Oh, no, you guys got the wrong week. Yeah, it's next week they're on, Whimsicott and Linian.
Well, they're replying to Whimsicott.
Were they on? No, right? They weren't on last week. No, it was Shark and Claude.
They weren't on. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, never mind. What do I even know? Ha! You're very wrong. Gotcha.
Yeah, we don't.
Right?
I do it all the time. I've definitely done it before where I've DM'd the wrong people and then those people don't even know and then they set up the whole episode and then somebody else.
It even happened to us last week. I thought I was on last week's episode, but I was not. So
yeah.
We can always...
on Friday, I was like, gosh,
Spreadsheets are hard. Spreadsheets are hard.
They are.
Okay.
They are. Anyway, moving on with this email. I'm breaking my 2-year hiatus from writing into the mailbag, partly to debate last week's ground type tops and bottoms. They have the word correct here marked out, and they replaced it with debate.
To correct this last week. Correct, I mean debate.
Yeah. But also because this week was before a mainline Pokemon release is such an exciting time to be a part of the Puckle community. I know some people are having trouble keeping themselves spoiler-free, but I'm over here indulging in the leaks. No spoilers in this email, of course. All I'll say is I'm totally pumped for these games. Last week's ground-type ranking was pretty accurate for me, honestly. My biggest surprise was that Excadrill didn't get more discussion. With a really cool design, OU defining presence since Gen 5, and some VGC success, I figured our mold-breaking mole would be top cut. On the other end of the scale, y'all must have forgotten Alolan Dugtrio. Bottom 5 forever. The two things Dugtrio did not need was a reduction of -10 to its speed and a set of blonde wigs.
I didn't think the blonde wigs were enough to push it over, okay? It wasn't enough. I like that they have the wigs sometimes.
He just likes to say, hey, you know. I can't really...
Hey,
Can't give him too much flack for that.
The entire time that He-Man meme plays in my head whenever I see a Alolan Doug trio.
Same. Yep.
So across sometime. Anyway. Ahead of Scarlet and Violet release, I've been finishing up the side quests in PLA before I transfer all those mons to home. Cricketot's Path of Solitude has been a low point in my Pokemon career. For Scarlet Violet launch week next week, me and my high school buddies are taking a few days off work and getting together in person to play through in co-op.
Okay, that's a blast.
We're all in our 30s now and live hundreds of miles apart, but Pokemon keeps us close. It truly is the best of times. Thanks for everything you do growing this community and churning out content for the rest of us to enjoy. I wish everyone a happy launch week, and I look forward to experiencing this brand new game with all of you. Disco.
Well, thank you for that. All right. Our last email today that we're going to get to is going to be from KillKelly10. And I believe you've got that one, Shamu.
Yes, I do. What to do, Puckle Crew? KillKelly10 here. Hope everything is doing well. Recently watched a film called Ace in the Hole, where an obnoxious journalist played by Kirk Douglas reports on a man trapped underground in a mine. So I imagined if I were trapped in a mine, could my favorite ground type rescue me?
What? What? Wait.
We're talking about ground types that can get us out of a mine now.
I don't think that's how I would rank them, but I will let them entertain this idea. Continue.
That's the qualifier.
To get things started, his ride on his mega horn or horn drill to break the numerous heavy rocks above me. Once I can see daylight again, Fampi connected the stretcher as its BDSP dex entry states it's strong enough to carry humans.
Oh my gosh.
It's also my cute Pokemon pick.
Okay, it actually is. It is like strong in the Pokedex. Like in the Pokedex, there are several mentions of like how strong it is.
Finally, Flygon can activate the helicopter and take me to the nearest hospital to recover from my injuries. I have never seen a Flygon act like a helicopter, and now I want to see that. I want to see it just when
its wings act like tails.
Well, it's got like the dragonfly wings, so I imagine it could hover.
Yeah, they go up and down. I want to see it spin like a helicopter. I just want to spin it in circles, you know? Go Beyblade.
It doesn't actually use the wings. It just flings its tail in circles the entire time.
To make up my top 5 pick, I'll pick Torterra because Gen 4 had great starters, and Crocodile because all of its evolution stages have solid designs. My bottom 5 include Lander's Syrian form, as I'm sick of it in OU, and it looks angry all the time. Second is Runerigus, difficult to pronounce, difficult to evolve.
Okay, that's true though. Both those words.
But the remaining slots belong to Ursaluna, Rhyperior, and Seismitoad, as in my opinion they have ugly designs.
Ursaluna's grown on me.
Ursaluna's I don't like the, like, weird, like, it's just got, like, it still has leftover dirt on its nose.
Yeah.
I'm partially okay with that, I'm partially not.
He's just been playing in the mud a little bit. He's got a little bit of left on his nose.
Said earlier, I can't really say that because we'd have to censor it. But looking forward to Puckle's coverage of Scarlet and Violet. KillKelly10.
All right. Well, thank you guys for sending in those emails. Sorry for the shorter segment today, but we had a very long show.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I have an appointment to get to, so can't read all these emails. But we'll probably try to get. I want to see if maybe we can get a mailbag, an extended mailbag going on Twitch this weekend. So we'll take a look. I really do appreciate, though, everybody doing that. Green Taurus badge, I kind of like Fiamon because she did bring up a good point that I do think of ground types. When I think of ground types, I think of Hippo.
Sounds good.
I was leaning towards Disco Calypso, to be honest, but if you want to go for
Fiamon. All right. So on that note, we are going to go ahead and end the show. But before we do, make sure you check out our social media over at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Make sure you go ahead and follow us over there. But more importantly, come to our Discord for the launch of Scarlet and Violet. It's going to be a time. You need to catch those version exclusive mons. We've got you covered. Just come on over to puclpodcast.com. Of course, come over to our Twitch at twitch.tv/thepuclpodcast. We have started streaming on YouTube as well at youtube.com/puclpodcast. You can just subscribe over there if that's more convenient for you. You can, of course, also support the show by going over to our Patreon at patreon.com/puclpodcast. Everything is hunky-dory, and we really appreciate all of you for hanging out with us. So I have been Trainer Thatch.
I've been Shamu.
And I am Seth Vilo.
And here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing time.
It's closing time in Lavender Town. Time to say our goodbyes. It's closing time. Farewell, my friends. I'll catch you on the flip side.